We're going on a New York street food marathon, sharing the best cheap eats that you must try. Bring your appetites, because we're about to feast. We are starting at Guy Kitchen. I've got my local expert, Andrew from the Fung Bros, and what is going on here?
This right here is one of my favorite recent Chinatown success stories. They moved from Mott Street Eatery, now they got a storefront. Hi, can we get one fried chicken meal, a Hainan chicken, and then a roasted one? It's his first time having Hainan chicken.
It is my first time?
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of food, dude. I'm impressed.
It's just plated well.
We've got three distinct choices here. We got the Hainanese chicken, we got the roasted chicken, we got the fried chicken. What are the differences?
This one's poached, and I think this one visually, to a lot of people who are not used to having the dish, it looks a little bit unusual.
Okay.
It's tasty, I love it. Roasted, roasted, self-explanatory, deep fried, battered, all on a bed of ginger rice, and all have a different sauce.
Yes, that was really interesting. 3 different sauces, 3 different flavors coming up. All right, what do you think I should start with? I was thinking of the Hainanese chicken.
This is my all-time favorite. Like, I could eat this dish 3 times a week. It's like basic fuel for my body. I'll go with roasted.
All right, $6.50, one of the best deals in New York. Let's rock. Yeah, definitely got like a zesty flavor here, feeling the spice. Oh yeah.
This one's a sweet, slightly fish sauce flavor.
This is not some boring chicken at all. I mean, if you're looking for a little bit of a kick, generally speaking, Thai food would have that, right?
It's like a accessible kick.
Yeah.
You know, it's not too crazy. Chicken is so juicy. I'm like, where are you gonna get this quality of chicken, $6.50? You know it's good because there's no music. The restaurants that play no music, man.
I was thinking about that when I was sitting here. There's no music. Oh, dude, this chicken, as you said, so moist, so juicy, roasted, currently my favorite.
Okay.
And you got a little bit of a backstory on this spot. Now, this was $5.99 when it was at the mall near here, right?
Yeah, there's a Mott Street Eatery, which has some pretty good gems, but this spot kind of graduated from there and has its own storefront now on, I would say, the most iconic street in Chinatown, Mott Street. I mean, this is prime real estate.
Prime real estate, and you're charging prices like this, $6.50 for practically what's a full lunch.
And I think chicken rice, it's such an accessible dish.
Yeah.
Nothing's crazy about it. It's healthy. Anybody can eat it.
It's not gonna intimidate the tourists who are watching this video, yeah.
Yeah. Yo, try the fried.
This is your favorite. This is the one I could see your eyes were lighting up when we ordered it. Dude, I love the skin. The skin, the flavor of it, little spices, man, oof. Of these 3, I think the roasted was my favorite. What about you?
The all-time classic Hainanese chicken still for me, but I think everything's good.
It's funny because we were talking off camera about how like we can't possibly finish all this food today, and we're at the first stop, and I'm like, I don't know how I wouldn't be able to finish this right now, especially the chicken. I want to.
And then you're not gonna have space for all the other great cheap eats that we got.
You know, I'm thinking about this right now. Could this be the best cheap eats deal in all of Chinatown right now?
I don't know, we gotta go to the other spots, man. I think it's one of the top one though. I'm just saying that.
This is a contender.
Spoiler.
Right out of the gates. We weren't even planning on filming this spot, but Andrew stopped us as we walked by and he said they just opened. Let's put it on the video. $2 skewers. It doesn't get better than that.
So you can get lamb, beef, chicken. What do you want? Gizzard, you want chicken heart?
I don't know about chicken heart. I'm thinking lamb maybe.
Yeah, let's just try a lamb and a chicken.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dude, look at, that's a lot of chicken.
That's a lot of food for the money.
So the name of the cart is Jinmun, and it essentially means like Tianjin style skewers. Tianjin's a part of northern China.
These Chinatown skewer trucks are slept on by a lot of tourists. Don't sleep on this, and we'll show you why. Juicy, tender, love the cumin, the spices, everything combined on this. I mean, is this a lunch? No, but get 2 or 3 of these, heck yes.
To get nicely grilled lamb on the streets of New York City for this price, definitely a cheap eat.
And a quick eat too, man. Done in a minute. You said it, a guy off camera, that getting protein this cheap is just insane. Usually carbs are cheap, not protein.
That's probably 15 grams of protein right there.
So we're in a diet plan here. You got like the workout routine ready.
That's your macros.
I'm putting you on the spot. Ready?
Yeah.
$1 pizza or $2 skewer. What would you get? He's got to think about it.
You get more protein with the skewer.
Yeah.
But the pizza might be more filling. But oh man, if it skewers off this cart, I'm taking that chicken skewer.
Andrew, we're going from Thai to Chinese to Vietnamese. We've got pho ga vang.
Dude, I love this spot. I think this is the best chicken pho in the city. If you haven't had chicken pho, this is a great place to try it. And it also has some killer egg rolls, AKA jia yao.
We gotta see this, let's go. I'm John, how are you? This is a hearty meal, man. This one could take us down, I don't know. All right, so we broke the rules a little bit. The 2 phos are $14.99 each. This is our splurge of the video. Egg rolls here. A lot of my viewers are probably used to Chinese-style egg rolls. What makes a Vietnamese egg roll?
To not get too detailed, essentially the filling is different.
Yeah.
So here you're gonna have pork, You'll have vermicelli noodles, kind of like glass noodles, and then you have wood ear mushrooms. You have a little bit of carrots, a lot of pepper, maybe some fish sauce, other white pepper as well. Listen, I'm Chinese. I love Chinese food, but these egg rolls beat Chinese egg rolls. Like,
man, you said it. You said it,
I've
not
said
me.
it on my channel.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Viets have the best egg roll in the game. They do. Take a little bit of lettuce, and then we take a little bit of the carrots and daikon, the shredded ones, okay? A little lettuce wrap. Here you have the Nook Mom, mix it. It's like a little sweet fish sauce.
All right, first time trying this. Let's rock.
No, good. Thank you so much.
That is just a lot of textures and flavors that I'm not used to with like your standard egg roll.
Chinese may have invented the egg roll originally, but I think that they don't really focus on it. And I think the Viets perfected it.
All right, Andrew, I gotta admit, Vietnam is one of the top countries I wanna visit. I haven't had pho in so long. I need a little bit of a refresher here.
Here at this spot, they're gonna give you the sides, basil, you have the lime, you have the sprouts, you have the jalapeno. You put in what you want, but I put a little bit of jalapeno. I put the basil here, as you can see.
Okay.
And then I love any extra onions I can get. For the chicken pho, they have this like salt and pepper lime dip, but here's a little trick, Ismala sauce for your pho.
This is your brand.
It is my brand, yeah. It's our very own chili oil that we launched, and it's on Amazon, 4.7 out of 5 reviews. I gotta say it, and they're real reviews. But yeah,
They're real.
You can get them here at Pho Ga.
I mean, this is a life goal here. Your own brand of chili oil at your favorite Vietnamese spot, like other restaurants. That's pretty cool. So you get a lot of flavor of the noodles in this and the meat.
And then I would say you take a small piece of meat, a pinch of noodles, and a little bit of soup all at one time.
Let's do it, let's do it. That is good. That brisket, it just melts in my mouth, I gotta tell you. You know, I felt the chili oil. It's got a little umami kick. Feel that tingle on the tongue there.
Yeah.
You said look for like a mushroomy flavor as well, right?
It should have an after kick. So yeah, buy it on Amazon right now.
Link in
Or
the
the
description.
website.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him,
Thank you for letting me plug it, by the way.
I'm gonna give him 5 stars. How can you tell really good pho from a pretender? What do we look for?
You can kind of tell quality. And, you know, some broths I've had are good, but I can feel like the smack of like salt and MSG, which there's nothing wrong with. At the end of the day, it still does make everything taste good. But yeah, I mean, something where you can feel that deep, meaty flavor. And then the noodles, I think the noodles gotta be cooked correctly. I think these noodles are great.
You know, something I think a lot of people don't realize about Chinatown, especially if they're visiting for the first time, is that it's not just Chinese food. I mean, you're seeing it in this video. Almost every Asian country, really.
Yeah, I think it's largely the Chinese diaspora. You know, a lot of Chinese people have left China over centuries and went to all different places and either maintain some Chinese identity or have mixed in with the locals, and therefore that's why you get like, there is such thing as Chinese Viet cuisine. There is such thing as Chinese Cambodian.
Yeah.
There is Chinese Indo cuisine, Chinese Malaysian cuisine.
This actually might be the first time I've ever put pho on my channel now that I think about it in 8 years. What do you think about that?
What the fuzz up with that, man? I don't want to do that.
You did it. Andrew, we got North Dumpling here. This is that hole-in-the-wall mom and pop dumpling shop that everybody loves in Chinatown. I gotta see this, let's go.
Hey y'all, you fun 1 and a 2.
Thank you. Look at that, man. $4.50 and $4. What do you prefer generally? I'll tell you right away. I'm team pan fried. All the way.
I'm kind of down the middle. I think it kind of depends.
On the place or your mood. This is definitely a moment where I want to try that chili oil again, and I also like how it looks. We're not gonna go too crazy. They're both pork and chive, right?
Yeah, both pork and chive.
Yeah.
There we go. It's juicy. You got some cabbage, onion, green onion.
I'll go with steamed. You're gonna go with pan fried. Tastes fantastic. Soft and chewy, and chili oil adding a little extra kick to it.
What I do is a little bit of vinegar,
Okay.
a little bit of shmala. We ate so much food and I'm still going.
It's so easy here. This is definitely better than the run-of-the-mill dumpling spots I have been to.
I think that they're putting their name in the hat of the dollar dumpling game in New York City, which is such a competitive game.
I've talked this over with some Chinese American friends, and a theory they have is that they keep the prices low for the local community. They just don't care that much about getting crazy profits versus keeping the locals happy.
One quick fact about this spot is that it is a lady who was at China North Dumpling on Essex Street, which she was working there for many, many years. That's a staple, cheap eat, of course, as well. but they recently opened up this spot, North Dumpling on Division Street.
Okay. It's hard to keep up with all the dumpling spots, to be honest with you.
I don't blame you. This lady is from northern China.
Okay.
A lot of the other dumpling spots, oftentimes from Fujian or the north, where dumplings are very common food.
I want to plug another really great Chinese-American YouTube channel, Bing Buzz. We did a collaboration video about the best dumplings in New York. If you want to see that whole video, we have about 5 different spots right here. Check that out.
Shout out to Bing Buzz.
Andrew, we got West Rice Roll King, and this is one of the newer rice roll spots on the scene, right?
Yeah, man, I would say you look forward to ribbony, soft, flowy rice rolls, AKA Chung Fun in Cantonese.
Let's rock.
Dude, he's making the fresh. That machine right there, that's the traditional way to make the rice rolls right here. He's making the mixture. So can we get one mixed rice roll? Sure. And then can I get beef rice roll with gale udon on top?
Sure, no problem.
We've had chicken, we've had pork, we've had beef today, so I'm feeling vegetarian here. Mixed sauce rice roll. And Andrew got the beef with the fish balls on top, which just made you happy, like I haven't seen you all day.
I made it a combo. Thank you for letting me soup it up. But yeah, this is curry fish balls on my beef rice rolls. You got the non-meat one with the sweet kind of sesame peanut sauce in there.
Looking forward to it. Let's take a big bite. Smooth, velvety, just melted in my mouth. And I am somebody that loves peanut sauce of any kind, peanut butter, you name it. I knew I was gonna love this.
I've had like a parpadel, like pasta. Super thin pasta is kind of like this. I kind of made it a meal because I had beef in it. You can get curry fish balls on top.
No, mine is packing some serious punch, man, with the flavors. Ooh.
They have their own chili oil. Sprinkle some of this on there. Yours is good. Not gonna lie, I'm really glad we're here right now.
I was just appreciating the experience. We're eating at a counter right here. Amazing, delicious, cheap food in Manhattan. This is what you come to Chinatown for.
And the quality is crazy because you actually see him using that super old technology, that wheel that's liquefying it into that rice batter, essentially. And then he is essentially screen printing a t-shirt full of rice roll sheets.
I love that analogy that it's like creating a t-shirt.
No,
I've never heard that before, but it is.
No, it looked like he was putting the paint over the, And so the fact that he handcrafts every rice roll and it's only $4 or $5.
This is the cheapest dish we have had all day, $3.95 for this.
Chinatown, it's always gonna have its cheap eats. It's that immigrant work ethic that's never gonna stop, and basically it's always gonna provide cheap eats.
All right, bold statement coming here. Tell me if you agree. Chinatown is the best cheap eats neighborhood in the entire country. I can't even think of a competitor.
Did you say that was a crazy statement?
I don't know. Is that
I 100% agree.
It's not crazy. There's no contest.
There's no contest of the amount of cheap food, so there's always something to enjoy about Chinatown. Don't be afraid to get the little add-ons. Like I just added the curry fish balls on top. That's not even a dish.
I want to take one. Curry fish ball add-on. Savory, completely different flavor profile going on. I see why you went for that. Today's been crazy, man, discovering 5 spots I've never been to before that are some of the best values out there. And you're supporting a local business. Just checks every box.
Helps to have cash on you for some of the spots.
Including here.
All right, let's say you're a guy on a budget. You want to do something kind of cool, but doesn't cost a lot. Date night with a girl. Be like, oh yeah, it's cool. Check out some cheap eats in Chinatown.
I know some local spots.
I know some local spots. That's how he does it.
That's how I do it.
That's how you did it.
Actually, yes. Our second date, I took her to some speakeasy bars, and she thought that I knew my stuff.
People love that phrase in New York. Hey, I know a spot.
But after watching this video, you know 5 good spots.
John, what's your favorite spot that we went to today? Guy Kitchen. We had, the skewer truck. We had North Dumpling. We had Pho Ga Vang. We had this spot.
All right, I have my answer, and this is not a cop-out, but it's a tie. Pho Ga Vang and West Rice Roll King. Tie, and I want to come back to both of them as soon as possible. What about you? Now you're on the spot.
Man, this was actually really good. So I'm gonna have to put this up there, but Guy Kitchen to me, always chicken and rice. Staple in my book. That's a staple meal for me. And it's super cheap. I would say dollar per dollar, maybe I take the chicken rice.
Value-wise, actually, I might go with this for $3.95. I'll be honest with you.
That is actually super cheap.
Crazy deal.
That's why I think Chinatown deserves its respect, to be honest.
Big time.
Come to Chinatown, spend your money, be nice, experience something cool.
Based on dishes from around the globe for only $5 or $6 in New York City. Sounds too good to be true. We'll show you the ins and outs of the Queens night market, which could be the city's best kept secret. We've got Greg back on the channel, resident food guide and native New Yorker.
Sir.
70 food stalls here. What do we got going on?
Yeah, the Queens Night Market is in Flushing Meadow Park here in Queens. It's been here since 2015, but it's expanded a lot over the years. So I've seen it grow. I've seen it become the best night market in the city, the first, and excited to eat. Really hungry right now.
We're gonna start with Joey Bat's Cafe. I've actually covered them on the channel before. They've got a few different locations, but there's something unique here that you can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely. So they actually started off here in the night market years ago, and they've become a real success story. You know, their pastel de nata, the egg tarts are really delicious, but they have something special here called bifana. It's a traditional Portuguese sandwich. It's marinated strips of pork on a house-made Portuguese roll. Delicious.
This is a Portuguese roll. It's called popsicle. It's very soft, and I like to serve the bifana on it. It's really good.
The joy of the night market is this bifana is $6. You are not gonna find a sandwich this big anywhere in New York for $6.
Definitely not. Look how generously they pile these strips of marinated pork on here. She dipped it in the extra gravy too.
Yeah.
It's so saucy and juicy. It's like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore, but I gotta tell you what this is all about.
All right, let's just take a bite. Yeah, let's rock. I just cleanly bit through 4 different pieces of pork. That might be a personal record. It's so juicy. You just feel that gravy in every bite.
So this is marinated in a beer and wine sauce. I think I really tasted the wine on that first bite too. It's really complemented nicely by this house-made Portuguese roll. It's very light, fresh.
We're gonna tap out after one spot. This thing is so big. That's the great thing about the night market. Every stall you go to, you can try something you've never tried before because they've got stalls from all over the world.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is that you really can't find Portuguese food very easily in New York City. It's actually only really Joey Bat's, and he mostly is selling the egg tarts at other locations like Grand Central. This is the only spot he's selling the bifana for now. Keyword for now. I can see this really taking off one day.
Something we definitely need to discuss is how the night market has served as a springboard for a lot of really famous businesses to pop up. They start here, they gain a following, and then they're off to the races.
Absolutely. I would say Joey Bat's is probably the biggest example of that. Really started here. Now you can go to Grand Central before you hop on the Metro North. You can grab a pack of the pastel de nata, the egg tarts, which he's most famous for. I think Chelsea Market, a few other locations. He's really taken off. He's got like a mini empire based off just starting right here at Queens Night Market, which is incredible.
Speaking of pastel de natas, I mean, they saw us filming and they know us, so they decided to give us 6 of these bad boys. And I had some of these when I was in Spain recently, and I know they're Portuguese. They didn't even come close to this, I'm telling you. They didn't even come close. I was missing Joey Bat's in Europe.
You can really just smell that cinnamon coming off this already.
Ready? Never too early for dessert, even the first stall. So sweet, so crumbly.
Yeah, I like that it's not overly sweet. It's got a nice crunchiness, and I love the little bit of cinnamon on top. I think that's really what makes this extra special.
Has a real holiday vibe to it.
Yeah, that cinnamon flavor really gets that. Always consistent, always delicious, I'll say.
This is tough because we've got like 68 more stalls to eat at, so we better slow down.
Brought my appetite, but let's see.
You gotta fast all day for this.
We have 2 traditional too.
We have 2 coconut juices as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg, you know what my favorite thing about this market is? It's the community vibe, because people walk by, they see what's in your hand, and they say, where did you get that? What line is it? You start conversations very easily here.
You really do, yeah. Everyone's very opinionated too. And
For anyone who's not had a bonito before, including myself, what exactly is this?
okay, so I've only had this one time at an Ecuadorian restaurant in Queens. So Ecuadorian food is very common here in Queens. We have a huge community, but these bolones, they're plantain balls, so it's mashed plantain. They actually add some chicharron, there's some cheese here. They top it off with their own sauce. It's like a green, not sure exactly what it is.
Esmeralda sauce.
Esmeralda, yeah. Let's see what the Esmeralda sauce is, but it's really nice. You don't really see this on the streets very much, so it's actually pretty unique, even for a cuisine that's very popular here in Queens. So let's see what it's all about.
Really soft and chewy. And Esmeralda sauce doesn't overpower it at all to me. It just kind of complements it.
Definitely has like a herbal flavor. You get that crunch, you get a bit of smokiness from the chicharron and the bacon. And the plantains are more the green plantains, so not very sweet.
I can't forget that it is very hot coconut juice, and you can even taste the little pieces of coconut. You saw them like grinding it, right?
Yeah, so I'm adding grated coconut to the juice, so.
I've had plantains, I guess, like Colombian spots before.
I'll tell you, this reminds me of a little bit, not flavor-wise, but concept-wise, of mofongo. Like Dominican and Puerto Rican mofongo, but totally different flavor. This is nice, I like this. It's a little more subtle, more subdued. Like part of the fun too is just watching them make it fresh. They're making this by hand,
Yeah.
each one.
As we were saying, a lot of these businesses, this is their first real foray in public. So they're very friendly. They want to know your opinions on the food. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah, and what's nice about it too is that when you set up here as a vendor, it's very affordable. The market is subsidized. That's why everything is capped at $5 or $6 per dish. So also in turn, the vendor fees are subsidized too. So if you want to get your started in the food business here, it's a nice place to get started.
It's really a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Burmese bites. We are getting food that is not that easy to find in New
No,
York,
it's
right?
not. Yeah, Burmese food is rare to find. This is one of the few, actually. Look at the tray. That's so cool.
If you order for like 10 people, yeah.
Have one keema palata, please.
It's going for a run tonight. He's gonna burn all this off. How many of these do you make a night?
About 500.
500.
Thank you.
That was quick.
Since we're in the park, you can actually set up a little picnic here.
Wait, is that supposed to be like a sushi roll? The glory of this market is that you can get a lot of shareable stuff for $5 or $6. Keema palata. This is, again, something I've never had before.
Yeah, this is from Burmese Bites. They're one of the most famous vendors here. They've been here for many years. Another one of the success stories. So it's hard to find Burmese food here in New York City. So they started here at the night market. They're still here, but they also have a stall in the Queens Center Mall, one of the busiest malls in the whole country, actually. So they're in the food court. You have your basic mall food and you have Burmese food there.
Only in Queens, right?
Yeah. So this is a keema palata. It's kind of like a roti, but inside there's minced chicken. And here is a little bit of raita. It's like a yogurt, cucumber sauce on the sides.
Did I just get two at once? Did I?
I think you did, doubling up.
What?
Actually have it by itself first.
That is just packed with flavor right there.
Oh yeah.
This is what I'm looking for out of the market. That bite right there, experiencing flavors like that I'm not normally used to.
So nice about this is that it's kind of crunchy, kind of soft at the same time, and then inside you have that nicely spiced chicken. And then when you have another bite with the yogurt cucumber to kind of cool it all off and add a little bit of crunch to it as well. The yogurt sauce really enhances it.
I could down these in one bite.
Easily.
I don't know about sharing them. I think I would go back for more, personally, but if you're on a little food tour here,
You come for the food and you stay for like the overall experience. The vendors making it, the vibe here out in the grass, like
music playing.
Yeah.
So this is good for a big group of friends as well. And you guys can just like split up and share food from different countries. It's a lot easier than like running around Roosevelt Ave, especially in weather like this.
And we even saw a woman who brought her own big tray, like like at a restaurant. She had a tray of like 10 dishes.
Sometimes you gotta lead with your nose. Our sense of scent brought us here.
Oh yeah. The aroma is incredible here.
Wet plates and one burrs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Sega wet plate and no utensils because it's Ethiopian food.
Ethiopian food, traditionally eat it with your hands. So we have here the injera, that's a traditional Ethiopian bread. It's fermented, made with teff grain. It's got kind of a sourdough taste to it. Ethiopia is one of my favorite cuisines, like a real flavor bomb, flavor pack.
I've had it a couple times before. It's been a while, but this, again, is something I really wanted to try at the night market.
Here they give us a rolled up piece of the injera, so see, it's kind of like a spongy texture. You see all the holes there? So I like to just rip it like that. Then go with this. Try and get a little veggie in there. I'm gonna have to use it's gonna get on my fingers, but it's all right. I'll just go like this. Use the thumb to kind of shovel it down. That's a real flavor bomb. Underneath it all, like not only all the spices and that beef there, but you get that underlying tangy, sour flavor from the injera and that like spongy texture. Wonderful. And if you don't eat beef, they do have lentil as well.
We'll just do the beef. I saw them slow cooking this in the corner, and I knew that it would taste amazing, but I just practically melted in my mouth. And then some of the spices are coming up at the end there.
Yeah.
This thing's got some kick to it, and I like it. Now I'm gonna try to make Greg proud and get beef and some veggies in one.
Let's do it, John. Let's go.
That was a warm up.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
So try to get, I don't know.
Got it.
All right, ready? Okay, just don't try this at home. It was better though with the veggies. It was much better. So many flavors going on, you're absolutely right. Could that be the biggest flavor bomb in the whole market right there?
It's definitely up there. Usually when you go to Ethiopian restaurant, you get a big platter. Usually you share with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Here is like one of the rare opportunities you can get more of an individual, smaller portion, which is rare. You can't really get that elsewhere.
If you're enjoying this street food adventure, consider booking Greg's street food tour of Queens. Many of my viewers have told me it was the highlight of their trip to New York. Link down below in the description. You won't regret spending an afternoon with this guy.
Yeah, I'd love to see you. Come book my tour. Skewers, the skewers are really good.
2 of the beef and chicken skewers, 2 orders. Thanks so much. Is there anything better than meat on a stick for street food? I mean, that's the classic.
You gotta do at least one at every market you go to, right? This is unique because Cambodian food is very, very hard to find in New York City. They're one of the only people selling Cambodian food in the whole city. It's pretty crazy to think, right?
Greg, I don't know what's more beautiful, this chicken on a stick or that sunset right there.
Why not both? That skewer in front of the sun.
Equally beautiful. That's why they call it the night market. We will be here after dark, but yeah, enough talking. Let's try this. Anybody can put meat in a stick. Not anybody can do it this well. So juicy and tender.
What I love about Cambodian barbecue sticks is that all the marinade you really taste. There's turmeric in here, there's lemongrass, there's so much flavor. So there's even a little bit of lime leaves too. And it's so hard to find this in New York. I wish it was more, all Cambodians in New York, if you can just start opening up some barbecue stalls, please, you will get a lot of people. It's so good.
How can you tell all the flavors? I've always been curious about that.
I like a lot of different spices in food, so over time I pick it up. Sometimes I don't cook very much, but when I do cook, I do use like turmeric, cumin, spices like that.
So it's from the cooking that you have that background, right?
A little bit. It's like a mix of that, plus researching the food and trying it a lot.
Meanwhile, I'm like, this is good. Bold statement coming. It's maybe the best meat in a stick I've ever had in New York.
Probably wouldn't disagree with you there, actually, because the way it's marinated, no one else is doing this.
The marination here, that's what's standing out.
I think if you were just to walk by and you'd see it, you might overlook the stall, actually, because there's a few stalls here selling meat on a stick, but don't overlook this Cambodian one, do not.
So outside of being probably the most diverse street food market in the world, you also have the most diverse crowd in the world, family friendly, a lot of tourists are watching. What would you tell them?
I would say, yeah, this is like the market for everybody. You know, you have everything's priced at $5 or $6 or less. You really get all walks of life here. And it's really not too far coming into the city on the 7 train. It's very family friendly. People come here with their dogs. It's just a good vibe altogether. You can even get beers here for $6, which is pretty good value.
Beer and wine. We may do that later.
Yeah.
Could I get the cassava leaf with the moringa leaf rice?
Thank you.
What friendly owners? This is what I'm talking about when you come to the night market. Getting that kind of hospitality.
Yeah, really sweet people. And I love it that we're not shy about saying they're the only people selling Sierra Leonean food in New York.
I think most people would be hard-pressed to even pinpoint Sierra Leone on a map, let alone having tried their food before. But here I am trying it for the first time. Very earthy, and of all the food we've had so far today, I would say this tastes the most homemade. Like they were just in their kitchen and brought it downstairs and served it to us. That's the vibe I get from it.
I couldn't agree more on that. The rice here is moringa leaf rice. You can see the bits of herb here, of the moringa leaf. And you have the stew. This is cassava leaf stew that already has a very earthy flavor. I think cassava is like a root vegetable, right? So these are the leaves from it. It's slow cooked. You can tell they're very just proud of their food, just very friendly, and just, I love, like, you can't find Sierra Leonean food anywhere in New York. Yeah, just like you said, homemade and like healthy even.
This is kind of addicting, I'm not gonna lie. And not just this food, just trying food from all over. It's like just close your eyes and point at a spot and you're probably gonna find something that you're not likely to find wherever you come from.
Yeah, it's a very nice portion, it's very hearty, and just $5. You really can't go wrong. Overall, it's April to the last weekend of October. They take about a 4 or 5 week break for the US Open. That's in like mid-August to about mid-September. Because this is in Flushing Meadow Park. This is where the US Open is. Literally the stadium is just right over there, so.
They got busy tonight too. These budget NYC meals can feed your entire family for $10 or less and taste amazing. These are the 15 spots that nobody is talking about, especially number 15, which might be the best deal I've ever seen here in the most expensive city in America. We'll start with what could be the top sandwich special in all of New York City for only $10.
$10 at the last place you'd expect it, a dive bar. Joey Rose's in Manhattan's Lower East Side would actually be an amazing place to just hang out with its vintage 80s theme created by comedian Joe DeRosa. But forget Mortal Kombat and $3 lager pints, you're here for their $10 sandwich specials. This is not just one token menu item, no, they have 8 of them. And just to elevate this budget experience, their bread is baked in-house daily. My personal favorite is the Rosie, mortadella, white American cheese, tomatoes, hot cherries, mayo, oregano. These sandwiches have personality and you don't need the jaws of life to bite into them. The eatability is tremendous and so is the taste. The dad is a heavier version, mortadella, Genoa salami, ham, provolone, Asiago, and more. Whoever's dad this was named after deserves a medal. I can't imagine these prices lasting here much longer, so go let your inner 80s, 90s kid out, even if you don't drink at Joey Rose's. And if you do drink, I can't imagine what could be better than washing down one of these Italian subs with an ice-cold beer in a funky retro vibe. Listen up, New York's cheapest burger is inside of a supermarket in the expensive neighborhood of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And spoiler, it's actually amazing. Head into Jubilee Marketplace where burgers start at $2.15 and cheeseburgers are $2.55. The owner was inspired by White Manna, a New Jersey institution for their little sliders, and they are able to keep prices so low because they have a butcher shop downstairs connected to the supermarket, which keeps costs down and your wallet heavier. As for the burgers, 2.5-ounce patties topped with garlic confit, smashed with love, salt, onions, American cheese, add some not-so-secret sauce, ketchup, mustard, mayo, relish, and Frank's hot sauce, a little Dijon, put it inside a potato bun, and you have a small masterpiece. I bet you can't eat just one. Super juicy and super simple. This is what supporting your local community is all about. Forget White Castle. Come here. For under $15, your stuff, money back guarantee. West Rice Roll King is the first but not last Chinatown spot we're featuring on this video. And America's best neighborhood for cheap eats won't let you down with these incredible rice rolls starting at just $2.95. They've got every type of meat imaginable. But for my vegetarians watching, I've got you. The mixed sauce rice roll at only $3.95 blew me away. Topped with a sweet sesame sauce with a nice peanut flavor, it's bold in the best possible way. This lands somewhere between an epic snack and a nice small lunch. You can't go wrong with the beef topped with fish balls either if you want a savorier experience, but these are so easy to customize. Eat your feast inside at the counter or take it around the corner to the park. This is one of my all-time Chinatown cheap eats favorites. Bolivian Llama Party wins for best restaurant name on this video, first of all. You know this is going to be good considering they're the only Bolivian restaurant in the entire city. You come here for their legendary salteñas, which are just $5.45. The best way to describe it is like a soupy dumpling meeting an empanada. Each salteña is hand-braided and takes 3 days to make. It's a soupy base mixed with chicken, peas, carrots, potatoes, and egg. The funnest part is actually eating them. Shake them, take a bite, and unleash a flavor explosion. It's a whole meal wrapped up in one, an empanada on steroids. Put on some extra green sauce, and this is the kind of unique dish that you'd have to fly to South America to find. But taking the 7 train to Queens is just a lot cheaper. If you still have any appetite left, for $12, their fried chicken sandwich has actually been marked as one of the best in the city by the New York Times. The chicken is marinated in a Bolivian beer, crispy and juicy. If they just sold this sandwich, they would be doing very well. But you have so many options to work with. They only have outdoor dining, so pick a nice day and swing by for some affordable tastes of Bolivia. Souk al Chater. We're going to stack 2 Sunnyside Queens legends together here. Walk from Bolivian Llama Party to this little Lebanese grocery store meets Eatery. Sure, they've got lots of sweets, veggies, and items to grab off the shelves, but you're here to order the chicken shawarma for $8, sliced right off the skewer. Your mouth is probably watering by now. Add some pickles, pickled turnips, Lebanese garlic spread inside of a thin pita. This is grab-and-go heaven. The meat is so delicately seasoned and the veggies complement the meat so well. You don't need this drowned in sauce. This could be one of the healthiest options on the video. Add a spinach pie or some grape leaves as an extra side dish, and for around $10, you're eating like a seasoned New Yorker. Places like this are staples of Queens, the world's borough. $1.50 fresh pizza. This one's a little controversial, I admit, because less than a year ago, it was only $1 for the same slice. But inflation has finally hit New York's cheap eats mecca, the dollar pizza. They're almost all extinct, and this spot next to Grand Central in Midtown was my all-time favorite for the $1 slice. So for an extra 50 cents, I say you sample this relic from the past. It's honestly not comparable to a higher-end pizzeria, but it's still the cheapest slice of pizza you'll find in New York, and if you're in a rush, there's something magical about this. You never wait more than 30 seconds, and even though the origin of the cheese is a mystery, I can still get down with it. Just pretend it's 50 cents cheaper, and you can say you tried New York's famous dollar slice, sort of. Chinatown is back on the list, and Guy Kitchen, a Thai eatery, is a contender for one of the best deals in the city right now. This titan of cheap eats has an all-day special that still boggles my mind. You can get their Thai Hainanese chicken with a huge bed of rice, or their Thai roasted chicken for only $6.50. Paired with some of their sauces, this thing packs a serious punch and is well below typical 2024 prices. For 15 bucks, you could do 2 lunch entrees and still have room for a drink. They have a new menu item we have to highlight, the Thai fried chicken for just $2 extra, crispy and tasty. You've got 3 menu items here under 10 bucks that could easily be an entire meal. This is a great reminder that Chinatown is not just Chinese food. You can pick up this unreal Thai food that is quick, tasty, and cheap. They have some delicious Thai iced teas and other sweet drinks to really satisfy any taste bud in the group. Guy Kitchen is a new classic on Mott Street. Arguably New York's most famous hot dog shop has New York's most affordable breakfast deal for only $3. Gray's Papaya, an institution on the Upper West Side known for their franks and kitschy tropical atmosphere. I still think this is worth a stop for a hot dog, but between 8 to 11 a.m. daily, you can get their bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese, or ham, egg, and cheese on a roll and a coffee for $3. And for $3.95, you can add one of their famous hot dogs with egg and cheese on a roll, plus a coffee. This is craziness. It's a bodega special straight out of 2004. For the value, 4 strips of bacon, egg, cheese, ketchup with the coffee, sign me up. But the real winner here is that hot dog special. My friend Ben loved it, and it's a sneaky way to try one of their famous hot dogs and have a nice grab-and-go breakfast at the same time. If you're visiting New York, there's a 13-minute walk from the Natural History Museum and minutes from Central Park. If you're starting either of your days near there, look them up. Royal Grill Halal Food. This Vendy award-winning food truck just steps from Bryant Park in Midtown still manages to slip under most people's radars. This is the kind of Indian cuisine that you'd be paying double for in a stuffier Manhattan restaurant. Forget the tablecloths and order the chicken tikka over rice for just $9. You can customize just how hot you want it. You won't get skimped on the meat here, I can promise you that. I always order it with as many sauces as I can. Chicken tikka, white yogurt sauce, hot sauce, green chutney, mango pickle. The owner is from Bangladesh, so it's got that flair to it. Very punchy, spicy, creamy, and complemented by the best rice I've ever had at a halal truck before. This is a true best-kept secret. Whenever anyone asks me what's the top street food to try in New York, I won't point you to your average hot dog cart. I tell you order some halal chicken over rice with white sauce, and you probably won't go wrong. But if you want some of the best and don't want to wait in a super long line at a spot like Adele's, then Royal Grill is your savior. Just minutes from Times Square, the location and the taste make this a winner. I'm not sure what's better about going to Fuzhou Weijang Weijia, the actual food or the fact that it's inside a practically abandoned mall basement in Chinatown. This is a type of food adventure you need to sign up for in New York, because once you get down those escalators and actually find the spot, you'll be wondering where it was hiding your entire life. Their small steam buns are $5 for 6 pieces. You can also add 8 steamed dumplings for $4 or 8 fried dumplings for $5, and you'd still be under $15. But if you want one, I'd recommend the steam buns. Add some soy sauce and devour them. They're soft, they're chewy, they're pillowy. You'll want to take a nap after, guaranteed. This is a hidden gem that looks like a hole in the wall with amazing quality and a hard-working family running it. And the best part is the price, making this one of New York's top budget bites. David's Brisket House is a unicorn. You never hear the words pastrami and cheap eats together, but this jewel in Brooklyn manages to keep prices competitive by offering a small, medium, and large size. $12.99 for a pastrami or corned beef that is this good is unheard of. Their small sandwich, an incredible deal. Now, they're a longtime staple in Bed-Stuy and as New York as you come. A Muslim owner of a traditional Jewish food making pastrami in a historically African-American neighborhood, and the pastrami is some of the most flavorful I've ever tried. Thicker cut and crumbly. Don't sleep on their corned beef or even brisket sandwich as well. Pair them with a Dr. Brown soda, and this is as New York an experience as it gets, where you don't have to order a massive mound of a sandwich and cancel the rest of your afternoon to digest it. This is not something you'll find in every corner of New York. Santa Fe BK in Williamsburg is dedicated to food from New Mexico. They have one of the best lunch specials you need to know about, the green chili cheeseburger, which which is New Mexico's most famous burger, and only at lunch to go costs $9, and they sell out daily. A 6-ounce patty from Paisano's famous butcher shop in Brooklyn. Swiss and American cheese, green hatch chili imported from New Mexico. This thing is a work of art. From the wrapping paper and branding to the beauty of the burger, it is absolutely stacked. The cheese melts in your mouth, the burger is juicy, and the hatch green chili has just the right kick, leaving you wondering where this burger has been your entire life. And this is why you visit or live in New York. The melting pot of the Big Apple allows you to try cuisines not just from all over the world, but all over the United States. My burger lovers watching, put this to the top of your list, and then go roam Williamsburg after, one of New York's hippest neighborhoods. If I was filming a movie dedicated to budget bites in New York, I'd probably start at Lucky Rabbit Noodles with their iconic location almost right underneath the Manhattan Bridge in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Their menu is an eclectic mix of Asian fusion, and the chef intentionally made it vegan and vegetarian friendly. While the noodle dishes are over the $15 threshold, if you want to splurge, this would be the spot and that would be the dish. I want to concentrate on their dumplings and sides. The Eastern Cukes for $10 might be the best salad dish I've ever had in New York. Cucumbers with cilantro, Thai basil, scallions, ginger scallion sauce, tahini, fried shallots, mushroom seasoning, lime, ginger on top to create a vegetable dish that's equally healthy and swimming in flavor. The matzo ball soup dumplings are an incredible combo of Jewish meets Asian cuisine. Take a matzo ball dumpling filled with chicken, add some chicken soup broth with Asian spices, fried shallots, and fresh dill. The combination is so satisfying and tasty. The best value could be their truffle mushroom sweet potato dumplings for only $6, completely vegan, black truffle sauce, vegan mayo, scallions, fried shallot, ginger on top of a crispy sweet potato dumpling. The combination of textures and flavors will leave you speechless. Finally, a location that is cheap eats gold and easy for anybody with dietary restrictions to enjoy. Pair that with a location in Dumbo and you have a great excuse to do some sightseeing afterwards. Sinfa Bakery in the vastly overlooked Chinatown in Brooklyn may be my favorite dessert in the city. And you'll like these Portuguese egg tarts so much, you may just turn it into a meal. $1.75 each or get 6 for $10.50, and you will guaranteed be the hit of any party or group you take these to. They're so jiggly and the taste is like eating a gourmet dessert or breakfast. Slightly crispy and buttery, the inside is dense, creamy, the tasty egg yolk holds it all together. They're massive and will fill you up faster than you'd expect. And this is the perfect excuse to head to 8th Ave and Sunset Park for New York's hidden gem Chinatown. If you need more ideas of what to do there, watch this video we just shot a few months ago for an entire itinerary. Remember I told you this last one is the best cheap eats deal in New York? Billy's Hot Dog Cart next to Central Park continues to be a viewer and my personal favorite. $2 for the most famous street food in New York, $2.50 for a hot sausage, and the best part is Billy himself, a Greek immigrant who hustles in all weather for decades and will actually take the time to chat you up. You want a local New Yorker experience? Head to Billy and enjoy some of the best hospitality and perhaps the last place you'd expect it. And for the record, these hot dogs are delicious and the onion sauce is packed with flavor. For $15, you've got 3 to 4 people fed easily. Then go sit at a bench next to Central Park, enjoying a New York delicacy and supporting a small local business.
Today we're on a mission to taste test New York's highest rated food trucks. Are they as good as everyone says? Let's find out. Starting with Disso's Italian Sandwich Society, New York's only Italian deli on wheels. Best sandwich ever. Feels like I'm back in Italy. Totally recommend. Friendly people and great service with great food. What else to ask? So I'm reviewing Disso's only to take a moment to say it's the best Italian sandwich I have eaten, and I've eaten a ton in my life. The quality of meats, the mozzarella, the bread, nothing is more satisfying. Sally balls and Fat Pete are delicious. This truck is right next to my new office and is already a favorite of mine. So you can see they've got rave reviews from the office workers who are hungry, and now I'm hungry.
How can I help you today?
Yeah, I would love to get one of the Big Paulies, and then I want to do a Carmine. I want to do the spicy chicken, and can we make it Don Fanucci size?
Sure, that's one of our biggest sandwich.
Okay, I'm excited, I'm hungry.
We're gonna start with the Big Poli with the brick oven rustic Italian. We're gonna add some farm cheese and fresh basil. Here we're gonna have our homemade marinara sauce. We're gonna have the fresh mozzarella. This is one of the most popular.
Then this is not the biggest sandwich, this is the normal sandwich.
Yeah, the normal one. Right now we got our biggest sandwich. This is called the Dom Fanucci, and we're gonna do the chipotle aioli, the spicy honey, pickles, and arugula. We're gonna add some grilled onions, our spicy soppressata, and provolone cheese. And then boom. This is it. This is gonna be for the carmine. Here we're gonna have our homemade marinara sauce, broccoli rabe, fresh mozzarella. We're gonna add some mortadella and our breaded chicken.
I think the Don Fanucci is at least 5 pounds, by the way. Oh my goodness. Gonna need a workout after I eat this, and to eat this is a workout.
You have another sandwich here as a bonus, okay?
Well, you threw another one in? Oh my God, thank you guys so much. All right, we're taking our seat on 6.5 Ave, New York's hidden street. I want to start with the spicy chicken Don Fanucci because this thing's insane. They let me in on a secret, the Don Fanucci. Tell me in the comments if you know where that reference comes from. It's a secret menu item. They didn't have it listed. The owner told me about it. They said this is the largest Italian sandwich in New York. I don't know if it's the largest, but it's definitely the largest one you can get on a food truck. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I think I would need a week to eat this thing. Starting off, we've got the grande ciabatta bread, chicken cutlet, hot soppressata, provolone cheese, grilled onions, arugula pickles, spicy honey, chipotle aioli spread. This thing has a little bit of everything. This is our first stop, so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna finish all this, but this will go to good use. To my cameraman James and my wife Adriana and myself later. It'll be eaten eventually. More manageable when you split it into 4. If you just got this for lunch, I think you'd be okay. Look how stacked this is. Oh, this is calling to me. Let me take a big bite. The grande ciabatta. The flavor of that bread and the crunch, it leads you into all the other ingredients, and somehow this just works. Chicken cutlet, nice and tender, good flavor, provolone cheese, never going wrong with that. Spicy soppressata, not that hot, little spicy, just the right balance of ingredients here. Nobody talked about the Don Fanucci in the ratings I saw, but they should. I think this would be good for a little office party. Ooh, look at this. Oh, wow. The Big Polly. Oh, I could smell the mozzarella. I smell the sauce already. I love the whole, like, it's an Italian secret society. They have mafia nicknames for a lot of their sandwiches. It's very clever. And this isn't even the biggest sandwich they have. Look how stacked this is. So we've got breaded chicken cutlet parm, fresh mozz, homemade marinara, shaved Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, fresh basil, okay? On the brick oven rustic Italian bread. My mouth is watering. Let's see if I can get this all in one big bite. This is the most Italian-American sandwich you could possibly get. Chicken parm's layers of it, and the mozz on top and the marinara sauce. So many flavors going on. I love the bread too. It's so soft. This would be what I would order for lunch if I was having a really rough day at the office, or I was just walking by as a tourist, and I wanted that classic New York Italian experience. That's the thing with Italian sandwiches, they never go out of style. They've been around so long. And this one's gonna be tough to top. All right, we have the carmine, which is a slight variation of the Big Polly, chicken cutlet, mortadella, broccoli rabe, fresh mozzarella, homemade marinara. Let's see if the broccoli rabe makes the difference here. Oof, look at this. It's like Big Polly's cousin, you know, a guy who knows a guy. That's a great thing about a spot like Diso's. You're not getting skimped on ingredients. This is the Italian deli experience, even as a food truck. So, all right, let's see if my mouth can fit over all this in one bite. It's not as intense as the Big Polly. I think the broccoli calms it down a little bit, but doesn't have those same like intense tomato flavor notes with the cheese, but equally good. My favorite thing about this type of sandwich is just how the bread soaks in all of the sauce and the juices. I understand the Diso's praise right now. They actually have multiple locations, so you have to check their website to like where they're gonna be on a certain day, which I find exciting because different people in different neighborhoods can try them. But I've never recommended an Italian deli food truck before. They're the only one in the city, and I say try them out for sure. I'm impressed. Tony Dragon's Grill, another place I absolutely love the name and people rave about this spot. Want to eat a burger in New York? Go here. Definitely go. I went 3 times during my trip to New York. Eat everything. Tony Dragon's takes truck food to a whole new level. The food does not disappoint. The chicken has always been tender in all the dishes I've ordered. They are great for team lunches. I order from my desk and the orders are done within 15 minutes. Lamb gyro was the best I've ever had. Explosion of flavors. Will definitely come back for more. Oof, okay, I'm pumped.
My name is Konstantinos Dragonis. I'm the son of Tony. We use the freshest, highest quality ingredients possible, and we do not compromise on the taste. The truck actually started as a small stainless steel wagon in 1986. My father started out selling pretzels and hot dogs. He started adding a grill to the little hot dog cart, and it started to get bigger, and he started selling chicken breast and burgers. Now it's expanded into a truck, and we do all kinds of bowls, sandwiches, and all kinds of fresh proteins. The typical customer at Tony Dragon's is white collar, blue collar, no collar, everybody. We operate in the Upper East Side. The spectrum is so wide.
Awesome, yeah, I'd love to try the ribeye steak and chicken bowl. And could I also do the 7-ounce gypsy burger?
We got our brioche bun with fresh melted mozzarella. This burger features mayonnaise. And the star of the show is our chili moni, house-made tomato jalapeno puree. We make it from scratch every morning. It's a little spicy, but not too much. Top it off with a little bit of salt. Gonna close that up for you. It's a little messy, but it's worth it.
Messy is always worth it.
These guys are busy. You can see they're a neighborhood staple. So we have the gypsy burger, 7 ounces. You know that the meat quality here is elevated over your typical food truck. Messy might be an understatement, but we're gonna make it work. There's no classy way to eat this, so we're just gonna take a big bite. I don't know if it's the chili moni or how tender and juicy this burger is, but that is one of the most unique burgers I've ever tried in my entire life. I don't know if I've ever used the words, a burger melts in your mouth, but this burger actually does that. The combination of flavors going on, I gotta tell you, I actually had not heard of this truck, and I've looked up best burgers in New York before, and I know they've been on some lists. I'm kind of ashamed that I've never tried this before as a burger fan. This is the kind of burger that you would expect to be served at some higher end restaurant, and here it is at a food truck 1 block from Central Park. This is amazing. Absolute home run.
My name is John. I'm from California. I'm a gypsy from California. Chili moni started, I guess, years ago when our family all made it for barbecues, steaks. It consists of tomatoes, grilled peppers, jalapeno peppers, garlic, oil, salt, pepper, I think a little bit of butter. It's a must-have when we make barbecues and stuff, and I came all the way from California just to come try the truck because it's the best burger, personally, to me, in the world. From what I remember, a gypsy guy came. I think when they first opened up, he was like, hey, you guys should make a burger with this thing we make called chili moni. Showed him how to make it, and then it kind of was a success, and it blew up from here on out.
We're gonna make the chicken and steak grouping bowl, which is a really popular dish. So we got the arugula in the bowl. We're gonna come over to the station of rice, add the rice in there. He's putting the ribeye steak on the grill. He's gonna sear that on both sides. Ideally, we like to pull that at a medium rare and then cut it up. Salt and pepper. Chicken breasts. Slice it up the way he does. We use very high quality ribeye steak, equivalent to steakhouse quality. Our chicken breast is famous for how succulent it is. Top it off right there with some tomato and cucumber. And he's gonna apply our vinaigrette, which is our house-made vinaigrette. We even have bottled it up and we sell it by popular demand. That's our house-made tzatziki sauce, features yogurt, cucumber, and dill. Voila.
That gypsy burger is going to be a tough act to follow, but we've got the ribeye and chicken bowl. I like what they're doing here because you've got something really healthy. You've also got that Greek touch to it. Nice and tender. I'm telling you, this meat is better than some meat I've had at steakhouses. It should be Tony Dragon's Steakhouse, not Tony Dragon's Grill. Open up a steakhouse, I'll come. With the tzatziki sauce, that Greek flair from the grilled chicken. We could put this on a stick, like chicken souvlaki. It would kill. They're really doing almost the impossible here. You're putting incredible, juicy meat into a healthy bowl. Who does that? Usually when I'm eating something healthy, the taste is kind of secondary. But here it's about the taste first, and then you realize, oh, this is a healthy meal too. I'm a fan. So good. Here's the plate. You got a Tony Dragon's Grill, take your food to go and walk to Central Park. Or just come here, period, because this really is a hidden gem. We've got Casa Birria on the Upper East Side. There are so many birria trucks in Manhattan, but very few have 4.7 on Google. Everything is simple, flavorful, fresh, and affordable. Cannot go wrong with this little truck. Friendly and always happy to make a recommendation. The Molita is delicious, crispy cheese and beefy goodness. Probably the best birria in Manhattan. If you like beef, then try birria. The meat is juicy and tender. Amazing birria tacos. I've had plenty of tacos in my life from all over the country, but this one is definitely at the top of my list. Strong words. I love birria. Let's give it a go. Hey, how are you? I wanted to get the birria combo with consomme. Everything, yeah, con piping hot. Definitely looks good. Look at this consomme, guys. Cilantro, onions. We got everything in there. And we got birria tacos with the salsa on top. We're doing this in true Upper East Side fashion. We've got a nice doorman building to my right and a doorman building to the left. Birria tacos in the middle. Very colorful, smell amazing too. Let me put a little lime on top. Look at that. Birria tacos really blew up on the New York food scene, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago. Now I feel like you could find them on just about every corner of the city. You dunk this corn tortilla, you dunk it in the consomme, and you enjoy. Juicy, tender. It's passing all the tests that I would, generally have for a birria taco. And I've had all the really famous ones in the city. You know what I like about this one? The tortilla, nice and crunchy. Upper East Side, wow. Didn't think this spot would be hiding up here. Is this the best birria taco I've had in my life, including going to Mexico? No. Is this the best birria taco I've had in New York? Also, gonna say no. Is this very good? Oh, heck yeah. If I lived in the Upper East Side, would I come here once a week? Very, very likely. Wherever you're watching from, our birria taco is now a thing in your city too. Because this was originally like hangover food in Mexico for brunches. My wife Adriana has explained to me all about that. This is what you want out of a birria taco. This is neighborhood people loving their spot. Totally respect that. I definitely approve this. If you're wondering, my all-time favorites in New York, I'm gonna go with Birrialandia, then Nene's Taqueria. Very, very close second. These guys would be in the equation though, definitely top 5. So this is the most unassuming food truck in a neighborhood that's just lined with them. I ordered the lamb and chicken shawarma. Thank you. This spot has an almost flawless 4.9 on Google and 0 social media presence. Wow, this place is amazing, an absolute gem of a find, so close to Times Square. Moody was working the truck and has the best customer service. Such a nice guy, and the food is incredible. I've had street food all over New York City. Trust me, this is one of the best places ever. Best biryani, best chicken, crispiest fries ever. You'd be nuts to stand in a Dell's line when this is around the corner. Better, faster, more options, and a no-brainer. Wow, those are some fighting words right there. Wow. This is a lot of white sauce. This is your typical halal food in New York. For those who don't know what halal is, it's food made under Islamic law. The halal guys, I would say, popularized it quite a bit. Now there's hundreds of trucks doing it. Everybody has their favorite, and from the looks of it, this could be interesting. $14, and I think I got the entire food truck on one plate, from the French fries on top to the biryani rice buried underneath, chicken, lamb, veggies, white sauce, a little hot sauce. This is New York halal food, essentially. You could really put this in in a textbook. I think we got some lamb. I'm gonna take a few bites. Lamb's tender, juicy, okay. Hot sauce, actually hot. Try some of the chicken. Tender. This is just one of those meals, if you ordered, I think you'd be happy. I don't know if it's going to be generating the kind of buzz like in Adele's, which we've covered before, which is still my favorite halal food in all of New York. They're a bit controversial right now because the wait is like an hour or two, unless you arrive right as they open at 5 o'clock. One of the best meals you can bring back to your hotel room. This is just like a symphony of flavors going on. This is one of those meals that just grows on you the more you eat it. It didn't blow me away. First bite, wasn't love at first bite, but it's love after bite number 10. This is what New York halal is really all about. I talked to the employee, I said, where's the food from? Middle East. How long have you been around? Long time. It's a New York conversation right there. I had a feeling when he was that sort of terse, it was gonna be good. I feel like I've tried just about every single ingredient on this. I think the white sauce is a little bit sweeter than I'm used to. I think the 4.9 rating on Google, I think it's like their loyal, hardcore fan base. Do I think it's a 4.9? No, I'm not ranking places today. I wouldn't say no if you brought me this, although there are other halal trucks around here, which I do prefer. Again, Adele's, if you're willing to wait an hour or two, and Royal, Halal, which we've covered in the past as well. Also like better, a little bit different style, of course, but it's good enough. Are TikTok's hottest restaurants actually worth it? Today we'll be ranking the most viral spots in New York from a 1 to 10 to let you know if they live up to the hype or are just overrated. Starting with Bell Fries, who have taken the internet by storm with their indulgent creations. I'm joined by New York City YouTuber Action Kid. We're gonna start with Ariel Eats.
If you love animal fries out on the West Coast, don't wait. Tomato Sweet in New York City,
Animal
and you're not going to want to
fries.
miss out on this.
I've had these before at In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, that's where they got the idea, actually. Wow.
Oh, they put like cheese and some other sauce on it.
We'll do one small of the double truffle. Thank you. You know, a real theme for today's video is gonna be how messy everything is. I'll give Bell Fries credit though. They have these little cubbies here. Like this is your table. We got two things to try out here. First, the double truffle, which has truffle oil, truffle mayo, and Parmesan on top. And you got the animal style.
Yeah, this has got some cheese, some pink sauce, and grilled onions.
We're gonna rank each of the spots from a 1 to a 10. We're gonna factor in the value for the money. And also I think something important is to factor in like how well it photographs and how well it videos, because that's what people are paying for too.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, to me it's like passing the visual check, and we went in right as they opened, and the guy working there, super friendly, give him a raise.
I mean, the smell is just so aromatic already. Like, you could smell it from like a block away.
All right, let's rock. That first bite, I think for me there's two things to look at. It's how good is the fry and how good is the sauce. In this case, we've got both going on. What about yours?
I mean, this fry hits differently. Just something about it, like it packs a punch. And those onions, man, they like bring out so much flavor, and then you got that cheese in there. I'm digging this.
So you think these are better than In-N-Outs?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Far superb.
You're gonna start a West Coast, East Coast war with that statement. Apparently the owner got the idea from In-N-Out, so they're paying tribute to it. It's not exactly the same. They're nice and crispy on the outside, soft texture on the inside, and just the combination of the truffle sauce and the oil, it's working. It's such a good flavor.
Look at this thing now. It's just soaking in all those like sauces and onions and everything.
You know, looking at the value here, it's about $12, $13 for a small.
I mean, for truffle's an expensive ingredient. That's a good value for it.
Oh yeah. They're very particular to say that they are not French fries, they are Bell fries, short for Belgian fries. I did a little homework on the topic. Apparently the story goes that American servicemen from World War I brought this over from southern Belgium, but they called it French fries because that's the language the Belgians were speaking. So they weren't properly credited, and they're trying to bring that back.
I didn't know that. I thought they were always French fries.
These are some of the best fries I've ever had in New York.
These are fantastic. The onions really like pack that much more oomph into this.
Let me try.
Yeah.
Let's trade. This sauce combination with the onions and the cheese would go equally well on a burger or on a sandwich too, which you can do with the In-N-Out burgers.
And I like this truffle oil. It packs a punch.
If I was drunk, I think I would go for this. I think the animal fries would be perfect because this is gonna like prevent any hangover the next day.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely gonna help. Fun fact, they call them animal style at In-N-Out because in the 1960s, there were so many rabid, hungry customers outside that they used to call them animals.
A secret menu item too.
No secret here though, it's on the menu here.
Yeah.
If something goes viral on TikTok, I think the commonality is it looks extreme, or videos or photographs well, but you don't always know about the taste.
Yeah.
And in this case, it passes on both fronts. We've tried both. We are ready for the ranking on a 1 to a 10. I'm going with an 8.1. These are really good. Honestly, some of the best fries I've ever had in New York. I was expecting the sauce to be good, but the fries themselves are really what sold me on this, and that's why I'm giving them such a high score.
I didn't think I'd be so into French fries because I don't normally eat this, but it's getting a 9.0 for me. Like, I think these are the best French fries I ever had, and like all the ingredients they put on here, they just like complement each other so well. Good value for the money too, considering it's truffle.
Yeah.
You know, the classic fries you can get for like $7. So if you want that, you got that.
You know, French fries are typically thought of as a side dish, but they're turning it into a main course. This is a new breed of takeout pasta spot that has gone viral. In this case, it's gnocchi for $10, gnocchi on 9th. This is by Traveling Girl.
Would you pay $10 for gnocchi? This new spot in the East
looks
Village
pretty
has a
good.
simple menu that
Simple,
only
yeah.
serves
Wait, what kind of
gnocchi,
sauce
either
is
with
that?
pomodoro sauce or with vodka
Pomodoro
sauce.
or vodka.
And if you want burrata, it will cost
And then
you
burrata will
$3
cost you
extra.
$3
They
extra.
put it in a takeout container so it's easy to eat on the go
Takeout
or
container,
standing
okay.
around with your
$10?
friends.
Okay.
Looks decent.
Would I pay 10? I would, yeah. One of the vodkas con burrata, and then one just al pomodoro. Very minimalistic in here. I like it, right? It's simple.
It's a hole in the wall.
You're here for one thing. So I got the gnocchi with vodka sauce and the extra burrata, and they put a bunch of extra things on top.
Chili flakes, Parmesan, olive oil, salt, pepper. And I got the gnocchi pomodoro without burrata.
Different sauces. I have the burrata, he doesn't, so we're gonna basically try their most popular items. They are super nice in there. You know, I've noticed ever since I started doing YouTube 8 years ago, these days, if you have a phone, people really, I think, put an extra effort. They realize the value of this. I've never heard of pasta to go in a Chinese food container, you?
And this is like the first for me.
All right, let's take a few bites.
All right.
I'm definitely glad that I got the burrata. The gnocchi's not blowing me away. I don't believe that they make the gnocchi fresh there. I think the sauce they make fresh. The gnocchi, I've been told, is store-bought, so that's a little strike against it. But with the burrata and the vodka sauce, yeah, it's tasty.
I mean, I have to say, in mine, the gnocchi, I wasn't super impressed with it. A little bit mushy, I would say. The pomodoro sauce is kind of average, really. Not totally impressed with this place.
We have to grade this a bit on a curve because it's cheap and it's a to-go lunch. The idea behind this is you grab it and you go and you walk around. It's like a mobile food. So to that, I think it's good value. Would I compare it to a Carbone or like a high-end Italian spot? No, but I don't think that's what they're going for.
I'll have to say, it is very filling. One of these, you probably won't even need to eat dinner.
You think about how tough it is to get a $10 lunch, okay? That's gonna fill you up this much. I mean, it's basically all carbs. You might want to take a nap after.
Yeah, you're gonna need a toothpick after this too.
I'm quite a fan of the burrata though. I would say to splurge and add it, or if you're not super hungry, go with how Action Kid did it. Pasta to go could be like one of the new trends in New York. So we're also getting some credit for being a trendsetter. I'm ready to give my ranking. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready too.
I'm gonna go with 6.5. I think there's a value to this. You know, is it the best gnocchi you've ever had? No. Is it interesting if you want a quick lunch in the East Village to save some money? Yeah. I would come back if I was in the area and I just wanted something grab and go.
For me, I'm gonna give this a 6.8. I was wanting to give this low 7s, but I don't know, the pasta just doesn't really sit well with me. It's really something's missing for the flavor and the taste, but value is really good for 10 bucks, and that's the saving grace for this place, I would say, and it fills you up.
One of the city's most viral sandwiches right now is at this Italian sandwich shop, and this is their 5th one in New York. We got a few TikToks to look at, starting with Sophie Green.
The best sandwich in NYC.
I can already tell the bread looks really, really nice. Ooh, prosciutto. Oof.
That's a lot of prosciutto.
This is not a sharing situation, they're warning us. All right, now we have down patty.
Dying to try this.
I like the way they wrap it. It's like kind of like a gift.
In all her glory. Wow. It smells amazing.
This guy really liked it too.
Oh,
Look
man.
how much food there is in there.
Wow, the bread kind of looks airy too. Looks like flatbread.
He just had an epiphany.
Oh my god.
He just saw God. Down patty approves. All right, well, it's our turn. See if we approve. Hey, how are you? I'd like to do a La Favolosa and then a Paradiso. Oh, dude, thank you. Let me try some. I love it.
Man, this is good. Real good. Put on a show for us. How much do you think that weighs, John?
just like half a pound of salami alone. Maybe eating at all the famous Jewish delis in New York has numbed me a bit to spending $20 for a sandwich. Yours is 18.
Oh man, it's sticking to my wrapping paper.
This actually might be the most meat I've ever seen in a sandwich. You?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. I got the La Paradiso, mortadella, stracciatella, pistachio cream, and pistachio.
I got their classic, the La Favolosa, salami toscana, pecorino cream, artichoke, and spicy eggplants. All'Antico was very famous in Florence when they opened in the 90s, and tourists and locals alike would wait hours for it. Then back in 2021, they opened up their first outpost near Times Square, and now this is the 5th one. So finally, you know, they're spreading the wealth all over the city. I love it. I think it's a great idea for a sandwich chain in New York, huh?
We gotta try it, man.
It's also very impressive how they brush olive oil all over this focaccia bread. And that's gonna be important when we take that first bite. You ready?
Yeah, let's go, toast.
All right, yeah. Toast on toast. The bread was the first thing that hit me, how crunchy it was.
Oh man.
If you like salami, you're gonna be in love with this.
This is fantastic, folks. Focaccia bread is like perfect. You got that amazing mortadella. The pistachio cream hits you like right away with the stracciatella. So good.
It's extremely messy. I mean, let's be real. You know, the pecorino cream and the spicy eggplant adds a really like oily and peppery punch to this. I'm liking this a lot, and I think I'm just gonna enjoy it more with every bite.
No doubt about it.
I don't know if the salami I've had before was too processed, too cured, too something, but this one just has some subtle flavors I'm really enjoying.
And the way they do this mortadella is like so thinly sliced, like you don't even feel like it's so heavy either.
I understand why they say this isn't a sharing situation, because yeah, you could share it, but why would you want to? How would you compare this to your typical Italian-American style deli?
They will use like more commercial meats. You know, they'll put like generic condiments on it. This one they use pistachio and stracciatella. This premium condiments.
You're right. In a way, it's making some of the Italian-American delis look bad, even though some of them are amazing as well. But I think you're going for a completely different experience. It's like comparing American pizza to Italian pizza, or like New York pizza to Neapolitan pizza. They're very different. Depends what mood you're in. But I'd always be in the mood for something like this.
To be honest, I'm not even that concerned about the price with something like this.
I would be happy to spend 20 bucks on it. This is a full meal. This is like a meal and a half. I'm definitely not somebody that typically goes for salami, but I would want this salami cut up just to take it home. Forget the sandwich. This is the best salami I've ever had in my entire life. Hands down.
I mean, this is freaking good. I don't think I've ever had a sandwich like this before.
Go ahead, what are you gonna rate this?
It's getting a 9.5 for me.
Whoa.
I mean, this is pretty much as best as you can get from a sandwich. The only thing I'm knocking it out for is the price, which it is a tad bit expensive now getting there, but it's pretty much as perfect as you can get with this.
I'm gonna go 8.7. I think this is an amazing sandwich. Is it worth 20 bucks? It's worth 20 bucks if I'm in the mood for this. If I'm in the mood for this, yes. Every day, no, but it's a really, really good Italian sandwich. And I've actually been told by some of my viewers about this that pre or post show on Broadway, the Midtown location is a good spot. People call it a food wasteland, not with them around. I never thought a lunch salad spot could go viral, but this bowl is changing the game.
I finally got to try the viral New York City Australian
Wow,
Japanese
that's a
fusion
salad?
bowls. This
Looks
bowl
like an
opened up
ice
in
cream
NoHo
sundae.
A few weeks ago, straight from Bondi, and the line has been out the door
Yeah,
since.
that's one way of
These
putting
bowls are
it.
like $17. So
Is that
very
even
skeptical.
healthy anymore?
Turns
Because
out
ice
they're
cream
massive.
sundaes aren't
I
healthy
don't know what they're
in the
putting in
least.
them, but it's
I think they're going for healthy here. I think that is one of the charms, like Instagrammable but healthy. I didn't think it was possible, but apparently it is.
I wish I could name half the ingredients in these bowls.
It
All
looks
I know
good
is
though. They got
these
the
people
lettuce
know what
in
they're
there.
doing.
They got
They also make low-calorie soda
croutons.
from scratch.
I don't know what that
I had
is.
the cucumber and Thai basil one, and it was fire. This is genuinely my new favorite salad in the entire city, and everything happens to be gluten-free. So check it out because you're missing out.
NYC, but gluten-free, likes it a lot. Let's go check it out. Action Kid and I show up, lying down the block. natural. It's like a day party vibe.
Feels like I'm on a tropical island.
They are from Australia, so I know it's like a surfer vibe. Could we get one of the OGs with salmon sashimi? And I want to do the braised beef. How long have you guys been open?
In April, mid-April, yeah. We had a soft opening for about a week and it was phenomenal. It's just been like non-stop momentum like since then.
We have our $18 salads ready to test them out. I don't think I've ever seen a salad this big before in my life. You?
This is ridiculous. Like I said, reacting to the TikTok, it looks like an ice cream sundae.
The interior of this bowl gave me such LA vibes. I could imagine if it was in LA, Justin Bieber would be photographed by the paparazzi coming out with his $18 this bowl. It's crazy because they've got a cult following in Australia. They have 25 locations in Sydney, 10 in Melbourne. This is the first one in New York. I think they picked the right location on the border of the village there in NoHo because that's the crowd that will spend the money on a really good, healthy meal.
This is the OG salmon sashimi. It's got kale, beets, red onion, edamame, roasted sesame dressing, seaweed salad, avocado, sansho, crispy crunch, and fish roe.
I've got so many ingredients, I gotta read this. So it's braised beef, kale, cucumber, sweet potato, chili, red onion, tamari ponzu, wasabi mayo drizzle, umami nut crunch, and for an extra $1.50, I got an avocado on top because I just wanted this thing to be as decadent as possible. I also have some rice buried under here somewhere. I may get to it in the next hour. Now, I used to order all the time from the Sweet Green in Greenwich Village. This is like Sweet Green on crack, okay? That's the best I can say, but these actually look really good. But remember, we're also gonna be ranking this based on the price. That braised beef is a lot juicier than I was expecting.
Oh man, there is a lot going on with the salad. A lot of seaweed salad. That's like the dominant flavor that I taste in here because it's so strong, like chewy. And then you got that nice, juicy salmon. I can taste those beets, which is like very bold and earthy, and the avocado also. I'm tasting like everything from the earth in one bite here.
Sometimes you put too many ingredients into something and it just overpowers it, but in this case, I'm not getting that at all. For the money, how much sashimi do you have in there? Salmon sashimi.
Let's see, like 8 to 10 cubes in total.
My question is who would order this for lunch because you're gonna want to take a huge nap after. Like,
you could split this with someone easily.
Like, actually might be a decent split. That may be the way to play this. I'm really torn because I'm enjoying this so much, but I also realize I almost spent $20 on a to-go salad.
I mean, you split it, it's $10. Too bad you can't order half a salad and pay half as much.
We're also filming this at a beautiful hidden Japanese garden in Greenwich Village that I used to come to all the time when I lived here. Let me know in the comments if you know where this is. The braised beef, it's got good flavor, little kick, little spicy. I'm a huge fan of sweet potatoes. These knocked it out of the park, the sweet potatoes here. Action could go first. I have my number, I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm giving this a 7.9. I really wanted to give it an 8, but the price doesn't justify this salad. Plus, I was counting the salmon cubes. I was like, nah, that's not enough for an 8. There's like...
You need like 5 more pieces for an 8.
I know. But on the other hand, very, very tasty. The ingredients are so fresh and they do give you a lot.
I'll say they're ahead of the game in pricing because I'm sure Sweet Green will be $18 in a few years anyway. That being said, by 2024 standards, factoring in the $18 price for this, I'm giving it almost the same as you, 7.8. The salad's great. Maybe not the best salad I've ever had in my entire life, but considering it's a to-go salad and they clearly put a lot of effort into this, it's amazing. If the price was lower, I think it'd be closer to a 9. I also think if we're just looking at presentation and how Instagrammable and unique it is, there would be like a 10.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you don't see salads that look like this. It's good.
If it wasn't for the price, this will easily be in the 8s for sure.
I finally found the sushi rice. Took me about 10 minutes. Lafayette Grand Cafe and Bakery has the most viral pastry in New York, which has been known to sell out fast. We're gonna check out DeVito food reviews to get hyped up for this.
$10 for a pastry like that.
For $10,
That thing's oozing out, look at that.
I know.
Pistachio.
Oh, he's opening it up now.
And that right there is
Oh, man.
That's why it's viral.
Oh.
That's why it's viral.
It just got all over his hands.
That's why it's viral.
He looks like he's enjoying it.
It's almost like
He's having a moment.
pistachio gelato. I feel like
Like a
it's got the
pistachio
real
gelato.
taste.
All right. I'm pumped. You?
I think he's feeding the ground more than himself.
Well, hopefully we'll do a little better. Yeah. Love the presentation. It's like you're bringing a nice treat home for your significant other. And they told me that they make 800 or 900 a day of these because they were so popular and they still sell out on weekends. They said they have batches at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, but during the week you'll probably be okay. And I'm imagining this is gonna be extremely messy. That's like the theme of this video. Just everything is super messy, super gooey, super Instagrammable, super TikTokable, whatever. All right, I'm going straight for the chocolate, like right here. I am a chocolate lover, and that glob of chocolate there was amazing. The croissant combined with the cream filling in the middle, it's just this soothing taste I can't explain. Like, I know they're an upscale French bakery, and I know that it's a 3-day process to make each of these supreme croissants, but wow, this is really blowing me away. I have not had a dessert that's impressed me this much in a while.
So I already ripped mine open. It's got this blob of pistachio here with actual pistachio nuts, and we've got the cream. Let me try the glob first. Oh my gosh, it has premium pistachio there, and that croissant oven baked. I don't think there's gonna be a way for me to eat this cream without it getting all over my face.
I say
We'll
just
see.
do it. I say just do it.
All right, we'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Man, there's so much pistachio cream in here.
American indulgence meets a French bakery. Best way to describe it.
It is darn good.
There's about 4 tables outside. Like everybody here is just filming their food, eating these supreme croissants. They're geniuses the way they set this up. I got a number. You got a number too?
Yeah, I got a number.
I'm going with 9.3. I am a dessert person. You know, maybe I'm skewed a little bit by that. I'm a big sweets person, but you can impress me with a dessert like this. I could see why they were selling out. 100% coming back ASAP.
I'm giving this an 8.5. I mean, it is a really good croissant and a pistachio cream. I'm just really docking it on the price and the price alone. If I could say anything also, perhaps the messiness of this thing.
Come on, you're really docking it for being messy.
Yeah.
Some of the best food in the world is messy.
That's true.
I knew we were gonna disagree on something here. So we gotta look back at our ratings. My scale today was gnocchi on 9th was last, 6.5. This bowl 7.8, Bell Fries 8.1, Al Antico 8.7, and then Lafayette 9.3. And then Action Kids ratings, gnocchi on 9th, 6.8, this bowl 7.9, Lafayette 8.5, Bell Fries 9, Al Antico 9.5. So you like the pistachio better in the Italian sandwich and on dessert, which is interesting.
That's right.
What do you think all these places have in common?
A lot of them are Instagrammable. They have a great presentation.
Yeah.
The foods that they do it differently than other places too. Like the Italian sandwich wasn't so salty. They don't use the usual condiments. This pistachio croissant, they bake for 3 days.
Today, we're feasting our way through 5 dumpling spots in Manhattan's Chinatown to see which ones are best. From fried to steamed, get ready for this mouth-watering insider tour. And I'm bringing along 2 of my local friends as guides, Ben and Ming from the Bing Buzz. Is there anything more iconic than a fried dumpling from a spot like Tasty Dumpling?
This spot has been around for so long. It's so iconic. A lot of people have grown up on this spot, and after a game of basketball, come here and grab a little snack.
So all the kids in the park love this place.
Yes.
Are you the guy from YouTube?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Glad I'm eating at a good place. It's our first time eating a dumpling.
Oh, nice. What'd you think? All right, well, enjoy. Nice meeting you.
Wow, usually the spot is like packed on the weekends. Packed.
This is actually, I think, the quietest I've ever seen it here.
Yeah, really. Can we get 2 orders of number 1?
Very important, cash only, yeah.
I've been waiting for this.
I mean, I think this is one of the best deals in Chinatown. 50 cents each. Now, you said this isn't even the cheapest fried dumpling, not even by a long shot.
That's why I gave you the look.
$4, pork and chive dumplings, just a classic. Nice and crispy. I never put so much sauce in mine until you did that. I love it. I love the combination of the sriracha, vinegar.
Spicy and sour and savory all in one. There's a reason why people of all ages love this dumpling spot. So at some spots, the dumplings are pretty dry. This spot is actually pretty greasy, and it's so much better with the sauce. It's not too doughy, it has some chives in it and a good amount of meat.
I'll tell you, I think a lot of times I'm more in the mood to do a dumpling run like this than I would be for dollar pizza.
I definitely go for a dumpling run over a dollar pizza run.
But if you're a fan of like anything fried, never had a dumpling before, I think they'd be a really good spot, like your first visit in Chinatown.
I think so. I love dumplings. I'm so excited for this tour.
There's something cool about naming your store very simple, like Dollar Pizza, fried dumpling, tasty dumpling. And just like Dollar Pizza store, they have to mass produce, mass serve these dumplings to make it work. And these guys are doing it.
All right, Ben, we've got a wild card for this stop. Instead of your traditional dumpling, we're gonna get a shumai.
Yeah, we had a stranger that took us here one time and we fell in love. Ming almost cried when she had it.
This is amazing. I love this place.
And these dumplings are a little different, but I'll wait for you to try it.
Okay.
As you can see, it's a little more of an open kitchen and a nice place to sit, a lot of sitting.
So you could easily do sit down here if you want.
Oh yeah. What is this?
Yes, it's a hot oil. There's a better with the sauce.
I'll do another one.
One more, okay, sure.
How hot we talking here? Love it. This is the most visually appealing place, I'm pretty sure, of the entire video. All right, got some shumai, pork and shrimp inside, right?
Heck yeah.
Hot oil on top. Let's do this.
Ooh, cheers.
Cheers. Wow, it's so soft and silky. Ooh, hot. What happened there for the other amateurs? Too much hot chili oil for me?
Yeah, but now that you see it coming, you won't do it again.
You've never had this before, don't down the whole thing. I should have been warned when Ben was like, I'm like, why is he doing that? Okay, and then it hit me.
Well, wait till Ming comes on the camera, she's gonna drink the soup.
Okay, much better. Get a little bit of that heat from the hot oil. I like how silky it is.
Yeah.
But man, this thing's got a kick.
Look at how plump the shrimp is, and there's a good amount of pork in here.
Oh yeah.
Scallion lays on top beautifully.
All right, my only thing is next time less of the hot oil on top and we're good. Like I didn't need that second round. The second round was snuck up on me.
These are pretty much the wonton. These are technically shumai, and shumais are actually a little bit exposed, but as in the name Wonton Garden, they're actually very similar to the famous wonton that they serve.
Yeah.
The wrapper is much thinner. It's square wrappers, much thinner, so it floats better in the soup that they made it. And yeah, if you ever bring your friends to Chinatown, this spot won't disappoint.
I know I really love this.
Oh, Ming just put me to shame. She's like, John, I could drink this soup for breakfast. You can't even handle it on one shumai. I'm ruined. I'm ruined.
Shumais and wontons are technically dumplings, and now all dumplings are wontons and shumais.
And this is why I hang out with Ben and Ming so much. They teach me a lot about Chinese food, Chinese culture, what's too hot for me. Make sure you subscribe to their channel for more adventures like this. Bing Buzz, link in the description. Ming, Deluxe Greenbow is one of my favorite spots in all of Chinatown.
This place has been around for so long and hits every single time. So many people come here, visit here, and get everything on the menu. There's such a variety, but today we're gonna eat some soup dumplings.
Love soup dumplings.
You're getting the xiao long bao. Boom.
Crab and pork mix, $9.95.
Cash only. Everything's cash only today. Most of it, right?
You can do Venmo.
Oh, you could Venmo?
Yeah.
Cash only or Venmo? Ming, have you ever had a soup dumpling on the street before?
No, I don't think so.
This isn't really, would you consider this street food?
Usually no, but first time for everything.
All right.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bite a little hole on the top so that you can let the steam come out so you don't burn yourself. Now this hole, you're gonna pour some vinegar onto it. Into it, I mean. Whee! Okay, all cool down so you don't burn yourself. You pop it in your mouth. And that's how you eat a soup dumpling.
Ben and Ming in our video showing Chinatown's most popular eateries did go to Joe Shanghai where they properly showed me how to eat soup dumplings. I was doing it wrong all those years. I saved it. I saved it. You want to pour the vinegar for me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. And just down the rest of it.
And drink that soup.
That's the best part of the end right there. The soup at the end. Oh, the vinegar. That's the missing link right there. That vinegar. I haven't been to every spot, but as far as soup dumplings are concerned, Deluxe Greenbow's always been my favorite.
It's really up there.
All right, John. Asian dad style. I think I missed Ming's tutorial, so.
He fell asleep during Ming's tutorial. All right, show us how it's done one bite.
Soup dumplings started from like a rural part of Shanghai, and it's enjoyed by all now. And you probably find really great soup dumplings in Flushing, but I think these are pretty much up there as well.
One of the best things about soup dumplings is that it's super interactive, super fun to eat.
And I think Deluxe Greenbow actually became a really popular spot because they're one of the few that actually open really late.
So how late are we talking?
Oh, 10 p.m., but it's pretty late for this area.
Cheers.
Those are crab pork dumplings.
You've literally created a sideshow here with your performance. People are stopping in the street.
We're doing it for YouTube. Oh, for fun, because we enjoy it. Let me pour this in.
Holy
Woo!
Thank
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Bye.
I think he just started a viral trend right there. Ben, you can tell we're in the right place. Look at that faded sign. Only good things are ahead.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that sign looks like it's been here forever. This place doesn't need any help with exposure, but this area could use a little more exposure. This side of Chinatown doesn't have all the fancy, cute dessert shops, but this one is definitely one to check out.
102, 10 dumplings.
Two go.
$5.75.
Man, we got lucky today because last time we walked through here, we couldn't even get through. It was like people on people.
We're in business. These look way different than the ones at Tasty Dumpling.
Yeah, I think this shape, this way of frying it is very uniquely to Super Taste. It looks like a Chinese taquito. Our friends who frequent this place showed us the right way of eating this.
All right.
Let's pour it all in. I know John is a little worried, but it's gonna be worth it.
And we're gonna close this back up. And then we do a little... and then, voila!
I've never seen a dumpling like this before. We're ditching the chopsticks, right? We're just going in with the hands?
Heck yeah.
All right, this is a lot of chili oil, but I'm just gonna take a bite. I'm not gonna down the whole thing like last time.
You'll be all right, John.
All right, let's do it.
You'll love this. Cheers.
Cheers. It is so much crispier than any fried dumpling I've ever had in Chinatown here before.
Exactly. They really made a name for themselves with the way they're frying it. It's super unique. The dumplings are nicely wrapped up all the way around and they're exposed on the two ends. So you can see the filling, the juiciness, the moist, everything. Don't quote me on this, but yeah, it's the only place I've seen. And they make it almost like a little rectangular shape. They definitely nailed the moist to fry ratio.
Oh. I also have to say that the way Ming shook it up, they really spread out the chili oil where it's just not that hot for me.
Right.
As someone that doesn't love the spiciest, hottest foods.
And for someone that just want to dive right in and start eating, instead of dipping, wasting time dipping, I like this way more.
Now these might look very scary with the chili oil, but trust, this is a super bite.
Super bite for Super Taste. It's pretty cheap.
58 cents each. What are you gonna do when you see the day when dumplings cost $1 each?
I'll be so sad. The search will continue.
Sujiao Fuzhou cuisine. Dare I call this the king of Chinatown cheap eats?
These dumplings are one of the cheapest ones that we're going to on this whole food tour today. These steamed dumplings are super nostalgic for me. I grew up on these.
Hey, I don't know if there is a cheaper location in Chinatown for everything.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of variety here. Yeah.
Let's have a 4A large.
Yeah, also 50s.
And all of us have had this before, and we can vouch before even trying it on camera how good this is, but let's confirm it.
Cheers.
Right, cheers. And they're always busy for a good reason, like silky smooth, a lot of chives too. I think this is the most chives we've gotten all day. It's one of those standbys right there. Always know it's gonna be quality.
Silky, juicy, smooth, and if you can't handle chili oil, these are your go-tos.
Actually, after having all the chili oil, I was like, where is the extra spice? I need a little more fire in my life. But yeah, it doesn't need chili oil. It's fantastic without it, with it. And the nice thing about Sujiao Fuzhou cuisine is that they are famous for their peanut noodles.
Yes.
Some of their other foods too. So you can eat other things there as well. They're very versatile.
Yes, wide variety at that spot. It's dumpling time.
This is all I ever wanted in life.
Good food, a show with a girl. It's so good. Here.
Did you know you can also buy these frozen?
Yes, you can. I love frozen dumplings. All you have to do is boil it for 8 minutes when you go home.
Yep.
8 minutes.
And then some vinegar and soy sauce and you're good to go.
Do you two agree? Best budget date idea in New York City. Dumplings, park, perfect.
So good.
Today, we'll be ranking the most famous New York eateries and restaurants that seem to be on every tourist's radar. We'll share the pros and cons of each and let you know which ones are actually worth your valuable time. Then we'll even name some less famous but local alternatives that you may not have heard of but need to. Here we go. Let's start the rankings, and the factors we'll look at are location, how iconic they are, and value for your money. Starting with number 12, most famous hot dog in New York, Nathan's. Ranking this one last for a variety of reasons, but let's start with the pros. If you are a history buff, this is where the hot dog was invented. At the corner of Surf and Stillwell Avenue in Coney Island, Brooklyn, there's a nostalgia factor of eating this next to what was once America's most famous boardwalk. Sure, I guess the interior is kind of cool. It's very colorful and kitschy, so you could take a nice photo. The cons, well, you need to schlep almost an hour from Midtown for a hot dog. And the last time I went, it was about $5, which is way more than you'd pay for a random dirty water dog on the street in the city. And I don't think you're getting a better product. Seriously, I can't tell the difference between this and a Nathan's in Apopka, Florida. It's a hot dog. And don't get me started on the lines either. My advice here, if you want to knock a hot dog off your list, go to a local. My viewer's top pick is Billy's next to Central Park, so you can chat with someone who's done it for 30 years. Another favorite is Dan Rossi, the hot dog king who sets up in front of the Met and is a disabled veteran. And later on in the video, we mentioned another famous local hot dog spot that I like way more. Junior's. Now, in all fairness, this review is about going for their famous cheesecake. I haven't tried any of their other diner items. The pros. Well, the greatest pro of Junior's is its location for tourists. They have two locations in Midtown at 49th and 45th Streets. The original is in downtown Brooklyn, and the only one I've ever visited, so it's easy to get to, and perhaps the name recognition would cause you to eat there. They're also open till midnight on weekdays and 1 a.m. on weekends, which is helpful if you're a night owl. The cons. The Midtown locations are quite expensive. A simple 2-egg platter for breakfast is $13.95. But what we're here to talk about is the famous cheesecake. It's $9.25, almost $10 for a slice of cheesecake. Now, if this was the best cheesecake in New York City, I could maybe let it slide, but Junior's is not on that level. Being brutally honest, it's on about the same level as cheesecakes I'd eat at diners growing up in Jersey. I actually didn't know much about Junior's till I started this channel and saw how frequently tourists were mentioning dining there. I've tried it a few times and just don't get the hype. My all-time favorite New York cheesecake still belongs to Eileen's Special Cheesecake, and they sell a small version which is perfect for the on-the-go tourist. Namwa Tea Parlor. You may have walked by Doyer Street in Chinatown and seen a huge line, and they are the cause. The pros. They're Chinatown's oldest dim sum parlor, and being in business for over 100 years in New York really says something. The vibe inside honestly feels like you're on a movie set. The retro diner feel is pulled off so well. This could be the most photogenic spot on the list, and if that's all you're looking for, then you should eat a meal there. Which leads us to the cons, because while it passes the vibe check, the dim sum is just okay. Having dined at a lot of other dim sum spots all over Chinatown, I think you could do better. If I had to pick one similar spot in Chinatown instead, I'd walk a few blocks away to Ping's. It's more local, and I prefer the food quality and pricing. Joe's is the kind of spot people either love or hate, and I find myself somewhere in the middle. The pros. Joe's has become quite synonymous with a New York slice. The OG location on Carmine Street in the Village always has a crowd, but don't let that scare you because the line moves fast. A ton of celebrities have eaten there, and heck, Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, used to work there. So that's pretty cool. If you were to just go to one spot for a slice in the city, you could do far worse. Just don't expect it to wow you. The cons. I think it's a bit overrated, and tourists really are obsessed with it. I can think of 10 other places off the top of my head where I'd rather go for a slice. The ingredients are fine, but it just doesn't stand out to me in any way. I find a lot of people that are in love with the spot like it because of nostalgia, or they just haven't tried many other pizzerias in the city, or heck, even in Greenwich Village. I'd send you to Bleecker Street Pizza a few blocks away for a slice over them. Joe's is stuck in time, and if that's what you're after, I say go for it, but I've just become too much of a pizza snob to really promote them that much. Katz's Deli, another spot that tourists are absolutely in love with, and many locals will fight you to the death if you dare slander them, but it's sitting on 8th on my list for a reason. The pros. Going to Katz's is a New York experience, albeit a rather touristy one these days. Walk in, grab your ticket, and then wait in a long line to get called up to the counter where you can even sample a little of your deli meat while your pastrami gets sliced up. You won't find this rite of passage anywhere else in New York, and for that, I think they're one of a kind. Outside of the obvious that it's touristy and you may have to wait in a long line, we'll jump right to the pastrami sandwich. I don't love their rye bread, which really struggles to hold together those monstrous mounds of meat, and the quality has been hit or miss. Sometimes I eat there and I think, all right, this is a classic for a reason, and other times I'm not sure if it's a tourist trap or not, and like most of the famous eateries on the list, it's expensive. Very expensive. $27 for a sandwich, some would consider that outrageous. Yes, it can serve 2 people or 1 very hungry person, but with it already costing your kids college fund to visit New York these days, I can't justify it. I tell you to go to Sarge's Deli to pay about the same price in a more local spot that tastes better, or even David's Brisket House in Brooklyn if you want a budget pastrami option, as they offer different sizes, which is practically unheard of. There aren't a lot of bagel spots on this list, but if I had to think of one that keeps coming up with my tourist watching, it would be Essa Bagel, and with 3 Manhattan locations, they are quite accessible. The pros. Much like a Joe's, if I was to put a New York bagel in a time capsule and bury it for 1,000 years, Essa Bagel would be a great example. They've been around for nearly 50, these bad boys are doughy and thick, and they normally smother on enough cream cheese to pave a driveway. This is definitely a solid bagel. If you're in Midtown, it could be worth a stop. As for the cons, it's not the best bagel in New York. While it's better than a random deli or bodega find, they don't hold up against the city's heavyweights. Yes, they are humongous. I just don't think they have the crispy texture or soft interior that the cream of New York's bagel crop have. And the flagship location in Midtown is both on tourists and locals' radar. It was the longest I had to wait in line for a bagel, which as a New Yorker, you'd want to be in and out in a hurry. It's just not worth the hype for me. Peter Luger's is a bit of a controversial topic. Like Katz's, people either love it or love to hate it. It's either the best steakhouse they've ever been to or a complete waste of money. Let's dive into this iconic steakhouse, open since 1887. The pros. On the channel, I've only ever covered their lunchtime burger special, which made with prime grade chuck is actually fantastic, and I prefer it to the steak. Although it's not the main reason that people go there, you go to Peter Luger's to step back in time. You go for the experience, the no-nonsense yet humorous waiters, the interesting characters that eat there, and a very good porterhouse steak. The cons. No matter what time your reservation is, you'll probably be waiting 15 to 30 minutes for the table. The service is kind of gruff, it's expensive, although what did you expect from an institution that really hasn't changed much over the years? I'm no expert on fine dining or steaks, but I have visited most of the famous spots in New York, and Peter Luger's didn't even rank in my top 3, which is a theme we're seeing throughout this video, that a lot of the legendary spots tend to rest on their laurels while other restaurants have to be on a higher level just to get attention. New York Times food critic Pete Wells, in his famed 1-star review of them, wrote, "What gnaws at me every time I eat a Luger porterhouse is the realization that it's just another steak and far from the best New York has to offer." Magnolia Bakery. Sex and the City may have put them on the map and on the radar of many tourists, but they've been well known for almost 30 years now. This review isn't about their cupcakes, which I find to be mediocre, but their banana pudding. The pros. Magnolia Bakery is on a beautiful block in the West Village on Bleecker. Close enough for you to grab anything to go and wander some of the nicest streets in the city. I think it's still a good deal, $4.95 for a small order of their classic banana pudding, which somehow, after all these years, never disappoints. They have multiple flavors like red velvet, chocolate hazelnut, and more. Pro tip, order ahead on their website so you can skip the line. And maybe I'm biased because I used to live in the Village and frequented it, but this is a great pick. Cons. If you don't order in advance, the line can be a bit long depending on when you go. I never loved their cupcakes, and I've tried quite a few of them. I always liked Molly's Cupcakes, another Village institution, more, but New York has as many good cupcake places as it has good pizza spots, and I'm not docking them for this. Joe's Shanghai. If you asked any tourist or newcomer to New York to name just one soup dumpling spot, this would be the answer. And this isn't even my favorite soup dumpling in Chinatown, but it's a place that I think does somewhat live up to the hype. Pros. The new location is actually really nice. They moved in 2019 to their Bowery Street spot after spending nearly 30 years on Pell. It's bigger, so wait times are less, the service is fast once you get in, and $11.95 for 8 pork soup dumplings is a fair price. These actually taste really good too. The broth has a nice flavor, and the pork and crab are my favorite. My Chinese American friends Ben and Ming even put their seal of approval on the spot. As for the cons, if you like the communal style seating of the original, that no longer exists. There is something kind of charming about that experience. Even with more seats, you are likely to wait for a table here, and you'll probably be surrounded by 80 to 90% tourists. It's also cash only, which is a mild nuisance since they do have ATM machines inside. I've heard from others that outside of the soup dumplings, some of the other food choices are pretty mediocre. Giuliana's. This is in reference to Giuliana's in Dumbo, Brooklyn, which used to be the original Grimaldi's location and has since entered the lore of New York pizza rivalries. But we won't go into that story on this video. Spoiler, Giuliana's is way better, and this has become extremely popular with visitors to Dumbo after walking the Brooklyn Bridge. Pros, their cold oven pizza, plain and simple, is worth it. This is the original oven that Patsy Grimaldi made famous. They know what they're doing, and for a nice group lunch or dinner, this is a fantastic choice. Heck, I think their classic margarita is so good, it doesn't even need extra toppings. Cons. There tends to be a line to get in here, and you can only order a pie, which could make this prohibitive if you're not very hungry. A pie starts at $26, which is not on the cheap side. I wouldn't call this the best pizza in New York, but it is definitely one of the better ones out there, especially in an area where if you're a tourist, you'll likely be exploring anyway. I wouldn't stop you from going at all. Gray's Papaya. This is the cheapest stop in the video, and it's really won me over. Pros. There's only one Gray's Papaya left in the city, and with Papaya King shutting its doors, it's the last of a dying breed, the tropical hot dog shop. Gray's has gotten lots of attention because of their crazy price deals, like their old recession special. Currently, it's $3.25 for a single hot dog and $6.95 for 2 hot dogs and one of their signature tropical drinks. The hot dog won't change your life, but standing in a fine New York institution that's been around for over 50 years just might. We also recently covered their breakfast special, which is so cheap, it seems like it's straight out of the 90s. $3 for a coffee and a breakfast sandwich of egg, cheese, and either ham, bacon, or sausage. It could be Manhattan's cheapest breakfast deal. Cons, well, there's nowhere to sit, and the place is pretty bare bones, so it's nothing fancy. It's a hot dog, so temper your expectations for anything amazing. And while the breakfast is cheap, you'd probably get higher quality at your local bodega for an extra $1 or $2. Topping our list of famous eateries is Russ and Daughters. Open 110 years, this Lower East Side appetizing institution is a must visit. The pros. I don't know if I've ever had better Nova salmon or lox in the city. And you know how we talked about the experience of walking into Katz's? Well, going to Russ and Daughters is just as fun, grabbing a ticket and ordering from behind the counter. Well, $17 for a lox and cream cheese bagel is very pricey. This is the one place I would pay for it and not complain. They've managed to keep their standards high, plus Jewish appetizing stores of this nature are very hard to find these days. The location in the Lower East Side and the fact that they have a separate sit-down cafe around the corner makes this perfect for any visitor to New York who is willing to try something classic. We're going on the ultimate sandwich tour of Brooklyn, from old school Italian to some of the best pastrami in the city, and a deli going viral for delicious reasons. You don't want to miss this. We've got Greg back on the channel, native New Yorker and food guide. We are starting at David's Brisket House, and this is a sleeper pick for some of the best cured meats in the city.
It is. This is definitely under the radar. You know Katz's, you know 2nd Avenue Deli, Pastrami Queen. You may not know David's, but you will now.
I'm really excited to try this spot out.
It smells so good already.
It smells so good, and I love the vibes here. It's like an old school diner.
Yeah.
Wow. We're in the right place.
Oh yeah.
My name is Riyad Ghazali. David Brisket House originally goes back to the 1950s. When I came, I took over in 2010. We kept the same recipe, the same theme. I basically took over and I focused on the 3 items, pastrami, brisket, and corned beef, with just a limited amount of menu. We tried to cater to many people in terms of like price, budget. I did multiple sizes to try to attract more clientele. I'm a practicing Muslim. There's a sect of Muslims that will not eat anything unless it's not halal. The same thing, you have the Jewish community where they will not eat anything except it's kosher, and I needed to cater to them. So 2010, when I took over, we were neither halal or kosher. It really took me like about 5 to 6 years to figure out how to source it to get it halal. 2017, that's where we officially became halal. It's still kosher style, but I would never tell anybody it's kosher.
So do you think you've introduced a Muslim community to
I did,
food?
because there's not that many places like this. Probably like the only one that serves halal pastrami, brisket, and corned beef. We have people from all backgrounds. Americans, Africans, Asians, everybody walks in here. Typically it cooks for 4 or 5 hours, and then we have a little cooked pastrami also for like 3 hours on tight lid. Corned beef, same process, it goes about 4 hours. Basically we don't do anything to it, we just add the seasoning and that's it. Typically use a slice machine. People use a knife to cut the pastrami. To me, I feel better to cut it with a slice machine where you could kind of measure the slice and adjust it to the liking of the customer. So this is the rye with mustard and the corned beef, the pastrami on a rye. Brisket corned beef. This is brined for about a week, cured until it changes color. This one is boiled, a little bit of acidity, but at the same time not overpowering. Then this one over here, we marinate it overnight and then we bake it in the oven for 4 or 5 hours. You're gonna taste the rub, and you're gonna taste the vegetables as well, and the brine that is cooked in. Now this one is the thinner portion of the brisket. It's cured, it's seasoned, it's frozen, it's then baked, then steamed. It has more flavor than pastrami because of the seasoning. You could tell that they're all the same cut, but different flavor profile.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
One of the best things about David's Brisket House, they offer you different size sandwiches. You don't have to spend 26 bucks for a mountainous serving of pastrami. Whatever your appetite, whatever your budget, you can find it here. This is some of the most flavorful pastrami I've ever had in my entire life. I'm telling you, like just that first bite, I'm in love.
Those flavors there, it tastes maybe a little bit of coriander in there. And that rye bread, you really get a nice flavor from that too. Pastrami texture itself kind of crumbles. You know it's using a machine, it's a thicker sliced pastrami, excellent.
I think Riyadh was a little generous with me because this sandwich is falling apart, which is a sign that I need to eat this faster, but wow, I could devour this pretty quickly.
This pastrami really is just leading off hot. I'm telling you, I've always been a Katz guy, but David's Brisket House, I've been here a few times before, it's always been like right there for me. Really good value.
Human-sized portion, that's the key, because you do think of that huge sandwich experience at like a Katz's or a Sarge's, but this is a sleeper pick and a half. I'm taking off the toothpick and I'm going in for more. This is definitely up there for me with a Katz's, a Sarge's Deli, and now if you're in Brooklyn, I'm gonna say David's Brisket House for the pastrami, for some of the best pastrami in the city.
Just enough mustard on there too, just enough to complement the meat and the bread.
This is halal meat, kosher style, a Muslim-owned business selling historically Jewish food in an African-American neighborhood. If this isn't New York, I don't know what is.
Very local community vibe, and even he said he likes to keep the prices, the smaller sandwiches at a manageable price.
He knew all the customers, he knew their orders the second they walked in. They've kept a crisp business running. It's not a Jewish deli experience unless you got a pickle.
Gotta have the pickles.
Just the right amount of sour. Doc Brown's celery. You can't go wrong with any Dr. Brown's coming to a deli.
Look at that Brooklyn Bridge in there, how appropriate.
And you said you've never tried it before.
No, and it does not taste like celery at all. No. So if the name scares you off, don't. It actually is really good. Very refreshing.
I'm gonna try the corned beef. He's gonna try the famous brisket.
Brisket, I mean, it's already really seeping through the bread. The bread's almost falling apart here because they dip the beef in the cooking juice, the au jus. So you have the sliced brisket, and this is not your Texas barbecue style brisket. This is a whole nother animal. Not really, technically, right? But the same animal, different style. Much more subtle. Really has kind of like a home-cooked, like comforting kind of food taste to it.
If you weren't from New York and you didn't know about this spot, and you saw David's Brisket House, you might think it's a barbecue spot, right? We have the corned beef here. Equally as popular, I think, as the pastrami. And look at this mound of meat. Even for the medium size, I think you're getting an incredible value here. Big bite. I'm salivating looking at this. It's calling my name. It's a lot softer, it's a lot more tender than the pastrami. It's a little more subtle. I don't even know which one I like more. I think I like the pastrami a little bit more because I'm into that flavor, but you cannot go wrong with this corned beef either. I don't think you can go wrong with any of this stuff.
Yeah, just steps away from the AC train or the LIRR. It definitely reaffirms as one of my favorite pastrami's in the city.
I'm blown away by how good this was. I'm a Sarge's Deli fan, my top pastrami corned beef, but these guys are in the equation now. Greg, next up we've got DeFonte's in Red Hook, and I think if you looked up the definition in a dictionary of old school Italian deli, this spot will pop up.
Absolutely. This spot's been in business over 100 years, and look at the clientele, catering to the blue collar workers here, a lot of firefighters, police. This is a real Brooklyn institution right here.
Well, when there's a line out the door, you know you've come to the right spot, huh? I think we have like half the FDNY and NYPD here as well.
Yep.
And those guys can eat.
So I just rewatched the whole Sopranos again for like the 3rd time, and it's got me really in the mood for a sandwich here. We got Tony, gotta get some gabagool.
The whole cast was here. I'm a Jersey boy, I love the Sopranos.
Best. How you doing? Can I get one Golden Boy special, one Chenzo 13, please? Small, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That moved a lot quicker than I expected.
I know. Fish Friday, they do seafood only on Fridays today. Shrimp, calamari, a lot of people ordering that today.
Got a huge crowd, but we got tons of meat here and some of the best sandwiches in Brooklyn.
Beautiful car.
The New Yorker. So our camera guy, James, actually had the interesting idea for us to try to find the waterfront and film there. That's what we're doing.
I feel like this is like in Sopranos when they have like a mob sit-down, mob meeting, just like right in the middle of nowhere.
We're gonna be breaking bread, all right.
We are gonna be breaking bread.
Here we've got the Golden Boy, and I knew from the second I read that menu, this is what I was gonna order. It's chicken cutlet, melted fresh mozzarella, vodka sauce, and prosciutto, okay? You know this is gonna hit.
So I got the Chenzo 13 that's got prosciutto, sopressat has fresh mozzarella, roasted hot peppers, broccoli rabe, which I love, extra virgin olive oil, balsamic glaze.
Greg, actually, I think this is fitting us filming on the waterfront because DeFonte's opened in 1922 as a spot for Italian longshoremen to eat. So this is exactly the way they would do it.
It's appropriate. And look at this, you can't really beat this view right now. I mean, you don't get the skyline, but you get Lady Liberty, you get Staten Island Ferry going by, you get the Verrazano Bridge right there.
It's not the classic tourist view, but it's still an amazing view.
Absolutely.
And speaking of amazing views, I mean, these sandwiches, they're just calling out to us. Oh man, it's had some time for like the juices and flavors to soak into the bread. Oh, so let's rock. The chicken cutlet and vodka sauce was enough. Adding the prosciutto on top, a little saltier, just the perfect combination.
The sopressat and the prosciutto is just enough saltiness, not too overwhelming. Then you have that creamy fresh mozz coming in really nicely. Get a little sweetness from the balsamic glaze, a little bitterness from the broccoli rabe, and then those peppers in there also being soaked up in that bread.
Cannot sleep on bread in an Italian deli like that. I got the hot sandwich, you got the cold one, so you want to take this home to Jersey, good to go. You want to walk to the park, this holds up. I just love the layers to this thing.
I think an underrated part about a good sandwich is really just the assembly of it. I mean, you can see just the experts at making this and just how they layer it and how it's all put together. It's a work of art.
Definitely. You have to know what you're doing. It's like you can't just have good ingredients. They are good sandwich makers there as well. And we saw how busy they were. They do this all day, okay? So they know what's up. I think a lot of people think of like New York, New Jersey as the big Italian pizza hub for Italian Americans. But before pizza even became huge in the US in the 1950s, these sandwiches were around first. This had way more influence than pizza did.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact it's so portable, you see blue collar workers coming in and out, big brown paper bag, taking a sandwich with them for lunch.
The extra added experience of being right on the waterfront here. Enter the Liberty Warehouse and walk directly to the waterfront. Tons of benches here. And then go explore Red Hook. Red Hook's a super underrated neighborhood in Brooklyn that a lot of people don't know about. We're talking mob business here.
On the waste management, 30%.
25, all right. If you are visiting New York and you don't know where to eat, you've got to take Greg's street food tour of Queens. I've had viewers tell me it is one of the best experiences they had visiting New York. Check the QR code or link in the description. Definitely take that tour.
Love to see you. See you soon.
Greg, we've got Farmer in the Deli, and this spot is absolutely blowing up on social media right now.
It is. I've been seeing them chop up the sandwiches. It looks like a total show we're gonna get in the process of getting this sandwich. So let's see what it's all about.
They don't make sandwiches, they build them. barbecue chips. Part of the shtick here is you gotta get chips to get chopped up in your sandwich. You can already hear the chopping going on in front of us. I wanna do the chopped turkey roll. Can I toss you the chips? Toss you, yeah.
Pretty cool experience. I like how seamlessly he just like placed the bread underneath it. It was already ready to go.
All right, we got a little show. Now we're gonna see how this tastes. Greg, I know that you were a little bit skeptical of it. I gotta tell you, it actually looks pretty good. It looks more like a tuna sandwich to me than it does a turkey sandwich with how chopped up it is. They've been open for over 20 years, so I don't know how long the chopping shtick has been going on, but they've absolutely been like everywhere on social media, so.
Seeing the ones on Instagram with the mayo, it kind of look like slop, but this looks a lot better. There's no mayo in it.
We got the honey turkey, lettuce, tomato, Swiss cheese,
spicy mustard,
vinegar, pepper.
Yeah, on a roll.
On a roll. Better than I expected.
Spicy mustard is key here. I think if this is with mayo, I think I really would not have enjoyed it.
It's like the mom cutting up the food for the toddler. Like I have a toddler at home. We don't chop up his food this finely, but oh, look at that. It easily falls out too.
You know, I was just about to say, I think it actually keeps everything together better this way, but I might be wrong about that.
I proved him wrong. Even though you can order tuna there, just like having a really finely sliced up turkey, I'm getting a lot of the mustard though. Like I'm noticing it more than ever.
Me too.
So it's like you're mixing up the condiments a little bit more than normal, because typically you got mustard, it's just on one side of the bread or the other. Have you noticed any of the chips, by the way?
You know, I was just about to mention that we kind of neglected to talk about. You can grab any chips or Cheetos, anything you want, like Akiway style. You literally throw it to the guy behind the counter to make it. I had a couple of crunchy bites in here from those chips. Little bits in there. I'm getting them like very subtle in the taste department, more in the texture department.
Now I got the barbecue chips and it's adding a lot more flavor to it. The line is slow because you have a bit of an interaction with your sandwich maker there. People are very specific about what they want. Spend 10, 15 minutes chatting with them.
It is a very local favorite there. You can tell it's an institution in the neighborhood.
But heck, man, I think we keep looking back to the Aki way. He's like the godfather of these crazy sandwiches, right?
Makes you a sandwich you can't refuse, right?
And I have to say, of all three, this is by far the most unique and different of the sandwiches. And we're both saying how much this is kind of growing on us. Like it's messing with our minds a little bit, like your typical sensations of eating a sandwich. But I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
That's the thing, and I think the way it's all chopped up really makes it seem like hefty. Something about it, like when you take bites, you're getting bites of everything. Kind of well, evenly distributed, I have to say.
It's like a really chopped up salad. Sometimes you see stuff like that, they'll chop everything up, but in sandwich form, I mean, lately in New York, what can you not put in a sandwich, right?
The cool thing about today with like all three sandwich spots, Jewish style deli, though, is halal, and we went to a classic Italian deli for Italian sandwiches, and really more of your classic corner store deli, like bodega style.
We got something for everybody here. Today we're eating our way through Brooklyn's Chinatown, which may be New York's best kept food secret. From street eats to a dim sum feast, hope you brought your appetites. And we'll be joined by Ben and Ming from the Bing Buzz. For those who don't know about Brooklyn's Chinatown, this is in Sunset Park, and we could call it more under the radar.
Yeah, definitely. And this started as back as the 80s. Believe it or not, this was a Norwegian neighborhood before the Chinese moved in. 8th Avenue, the number 8 is significant because it means prosperous. And as you can see, the Chinese population definitely found success on 8th Avenue.
How is this different than the Manhattan and the Queens version?
It's definitely a lot of local Chinese people that just come out to shop, buy stuff, eat. You don't get a lot of tourists that come compared to Chinatown and Flushing.
Man, we're starting at Bamboo Garden, and dim sum on a weekend is a must-do experience, right?
It is. Chinese people love dim sum, and I'm so excited for dim sum today.
Let's check the spot out. I have to admit, I have not done a dim sum like this where you have the rolling carts. These are pretty tough to find in New York these days, right?
It's getting rarer and rarer because labor is just so expensive.
For anyone who's not familiar with this kind of experience, could you explain it?
Iconic experience, and dim sum is when the old ladies like come and push the carts to you, and you get to see the dishes. I want that one, that one, that one, and then they stamp like the size of the dish you order. So small, medium, large, and special, and then the prices differ depending on what you order.
You're really just ordering with your eyes.
Full game of bingo.
It's really fun. I hope it doesn't disappear, but it is getting rarer. So whenever someone pours tea for you, you do the double finger tap to say thank you. So
All right, I'm learning a little today.
The young person pours for the old person.
got 4 grandmas trying to feed us at once.
Overwhelmed, John?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little intimidated right now. Don't feel intimidated, okay? Just have the cameras rolling, so there's a lot of attention on us right now. Now, normally on the dim sum experience, you pick and choose and you get a couple of plates here, a couple of plates there.
When we go with our families, this is very normal.
Okay.
But the thing that's different is that they don't all come to you all at once.
Lately, you have to like chase them down. It's like hard to get them now.
What do we start with? I don't even know where to begin here.
Definitely, we always start with the thing that's steaming. Shumai, the hagao, the paiguat.
We'll start with the shumai, and this is pretty much just grab and go, enjoy everything at once, right?
I like it a little spicy, don't mind me.
Yeah, look at this sauce spread in front of us. It's like we're ready for battle today.
There's shumai, there's shrimp, there's pork, and mushrooms wrapped around a little wonton.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Chinese culture, especially on weekends, seafood's a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to spots in Chinatown that specialize in rice rolls and dumplings, but here you get to sample a little bit of everything. So if you could only come to one spot in the video, it might make the most sense just to come here for a big feast.
Mm-hmm. But this is not all day, so make sure to come before 2 p.m. to be safe. This is the ha churn, which is shrimp rice roll. This is my favorite dish of all of dim sum.
Very silky. Ben, did you live here at some point?
Bensonhurst.
So you live pretty close. Do you think this area has expanded a lot since you were a kid?
Oh yeah. So the 8th Ave used to be just this area, and now it's like 3 neighborhoods. You have like parts of Sheepshead Bay, parts of Bensonhurst. So like definitely expanded a lot. This is still like the mecca of the Chinese neighborhood of Brooklyn.
So far we went after the shrimp and it's all been delicious, but what do you think we should target next?
More shrimp, just kidding. But there's a lot of shrimp and pork, 2 main ingredients in dim sum.
Go for the ribs.
Sure,
Ribs.
the ribs.
Here we go. Ribs nice and tender.
These are known to be very saucy and has a lot of black bean.
Could a vegetarian enjoy this?
There's vegetarian stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just more fun if you eat meat. Just the
Stuffed jalapeno.
stuffed jalapeno.
It's not our usual at a dim sum, but it's
Okay.
fun to have.
No, I get it with my family.
Oh.
Yeah, every family is like different. Like when I go with my mom, we always get the durian pastry. And these two, I don't think they like durian.
All right, let's try this. Man, one bite.
Mm-hmm.
I was concerned how hot the jalapeno was gonna be, but not hot.
Not too hot. Mm-hmm. They take the seeds out.
What would dim sum be like known for in like a Chinese family? Is it a special occasion, or is it every weekend?
It's not every weekend, but there's some families that's definitely every weekend. Depends on timing and also like finances, I guess.
Now you two just spent a couple of weeks in Asia, and you said the last time you had dim sum was in Hong Kong. How would you compare that to New York?
New York, dim sum is actually really authentic because a lot of people immigrate here. Hong Kong, I think just the space is tighter in general. Tables are smaller, a lot more people. They love dim sum there too. The food is just as good.
This restaurant is gigantic by New York standards, 20 feet between tables.
Yeah, if you stick around for a few more hours, it'll be probably like a whole wedding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They like to do weddings on weekdays.
I mean, that is kind of like the dim sum vibe, because you come in casual, but you're basically eating in an elegant environment.
Whole palace.
Yeah.
We are eating egg tarts later on in this video, Portuguese style. These are Hong Kong style.
The Hong Kong style egg tart uses full egg, while the Portuguese egg tart is only egg yolk. This is more of a thicker, denser crust, while the Portuguese one is more of a puff pastry. I went to Hong Kong. This is legit the size too. It's so cute.
You're definitely right. It tastes less like a dessert, maybe more like a breakfast.
This is exactly what people like to eat for breakfast. This Hong Kong style tea, dynamic duo. Durian, crispy puff pastry inside. Oh, so much durian. I love it.
Try to enjoy it, John.
Every time people warn me about stuff, I'm like, oh no. All right, let's do it. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
It's a monster of a fruit, man. Wait till you see what it actually looks like.
I have to say, this is about as bustling as Flushing, as bustling as Manhattan's Chinatown. Do you see more similarities here or differences?
I don't want to call it lawlessness, but it's a lot more chaotic. A lot more street vendors, a lot of Brooklyn attitude, I would say.
It's a good word. What do you think makes this Chinatown like special versus the other ones?
Here you speak Cantonese or Mandarin. Here, 90%, 99% of the people are Asian. Crossing all mixed together. The restaurant food is more option. Here, only like one street. So I have another job. And today is Sunday, it's kind of busy. I'm out to help him.
I was tempted to buy those Crocs, you know. Hardworking, locals making money here. I respect that a lot.
We learned that a lot of the street vendors actually have two jobs. Corporate job in the day and then weekends vendor.
Ming, is it really a trip to any Chinatown if you don't stop for some bubble tea?
Heck no, we need bubble tea, especially on a hot day like today.
Chunyang is the answer.
Yes, I love Chunyang because they make fresh fruit tea. So delicious.
Can I do a large passion fruit green tea?
The less sugar you put, the more sour it's gonna be because we use the real passion fruit tea.
Regular. It's regular, yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
When you get bubble tea, remember to shake it up because there's a sugar, there's a boba inside, especially when you have brown sugar boba. I usually flip it upside down and then shake, yeah. Keep shaking until it's all uniform. Very important to shake it, especially when you have like a milky base.
I feel like I say this to you guys every time we have boba, but this has gone so mainstream. You see this in like every neighborhood of New York, for great reasons, of course. Like every boba spot I ever walk by is always packed.
And the prices just keep going higher and higher.
But they're also good.
Yeah. I'll keep paying for this. One of the most refreshing drinks you can get. Ming, I'm always excited when I see a line basically out the door to a bakery.
This spot is one of my favorite spots to get Portuguese egg tarts. Some of the best here.
I was last here 4 years ago. I want to see if anything's changed.
Let's go. Oh, well, this spot is actually like extra big or a little bit bigger than the other spots I've been to.
Yeah, you can see they know they're gonna sell out, or they're just prepared for us.
The turnover rate is really high, so it's like super fresh, super steamy, so good. Packaging is a lot nicer than the other bakeries I've been to.
I was gonna say actually, their steamed buns are almost sold out. So they just sold out, and we're gonna get a completely fresh batch in like 5 minutes.
Exciting! It comes out really quick, 5 to 6 minutes. Guys, this box is baked to perfection, fresh, hot. You could put your hands on here. It's like a hand warmer.
I think I would pay $10.50 just for this box and packaging alone, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's so nice.
No.
Like, bring us to a party.
If I'm paying $10.50, I better have the egg tart. Look at the jiggle.
Are you shaking that?
I'm shaking it. It's so jiggly.
You know, I thought Ming was playing around, but they actually are jiggling. It's like Jell-O. You know what impresses me the most about this? That it's $1.75. I filmed here almost 4 years ago, and it was only $1.50. So we got a 25-cent increase in 4 years. If this spot was in Manhattan, no way it would be this cheap, and no way they wouldn't have a super, super long line.
No way. All the Singfa bakery lovers will rejoice. If it goes to Manhattan, the lines will be crazy.
It's like you're eating like a well-baked cake. Best way for me to describe it. It's so gooey, so tasty.
So it's slightly crispy and buttery, and the inside is like dense, soft, creamy, silky, so delicious.
We talked about the differences between the Portuguese and the Hong Kong style, and this just being egg yolk, I think I prefer that.
It's super eggy, but you can see that it's not gonna fall apart on you because of this crust right here.
Excellent point.
Excellent.
An excellent point. With like seriously, how gooey this is and how it's not all falling out. Look, it was crazy. They had like 25, 30 in front of us. They were gone in 2 minutes.
I was like, John, don't worry, they're not gonna sell out. And then we got there, we're like, wait. But then they're like, oh, only 5-minute wait. I'm like, oh, nice.
Because they listen to their customers. They make a lot. ADAP feels a little more secluded compared to Flushing or Manhattan, Chinatown. So I think that's also a reason why the prices are lower too. You don't attract a lot of tourists, outsiders. It's really for the locals.
This has popped up a lot on social though.
That's true.
I wouldn't say it's completely unknown, but to your average person, it's definitely not in the conversation.
Yeah. Sooner or later. I feel like we'll be here, and also you have Alberts and Queens. It's like eventually every place will be discovered. It's just a matter of time.
Normally when you think of pastries, you think you can just down them in a bite or two. This thing's massive and it's heavy too.
Yeah. I could probably down 2 of those egg tarts from the dim sum spot.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
I love egg tarts, so I can down 2 of these, no problem.
Sinfa is worth the trip to 8th Ave alone. Just get a box of those egg tarts, take them home. Your significant other will thank you for it.
If you want to be the coolest person to a party, bring a box of egg tarts from Singfa.
Ben, you once told me that the best dumpling spots have very simple names, and I think they qualify.
Great taste, you're 100% right. You got Super Taste in Chinatown, you got Taste Good in Elmhurst, they're all dumpling spots.
Yes.
And this qualifies. Hi, 你好，一份那个八个饺子，3块钱。
Thank you. These were ready to go. Like you could see that they sell so many of these that he just had the box.
8 dumplings for $3.
One of the best deals in the city.
He's scared right now.
Jalapeno scared me. That didn't scare me. I mean, I think after you've had so many fried dumplings, they start to look the same, but this looks a little bigger than normal.
It might be great tasting.
It might be great tasting. All right, we've got the sriracha, we've got the soy sauce. Let's see how these bad boys taste.
Ooh, spicy.
Oh, definitely has more of a kick than normal, but decent amount of pork inside, actually.
Yeah.
More than average, I would say.
I think the sauce definitely helped. Generous amount of pork and chives. Very doughy. You will get filled up with just the dough alone.
Value proposition is excellent. Is it the best dumpling of your life? I don't know. It does the job for me.
If I could feed myself for under $5, it's a win.
Yeah.
The thing with dumplings and these kind of spots is that you could customize the amount of soy sauce you put in, the spice level. So it's like you can have fun with it.
A little vinegary. Dumplings should always be in the 30-something cents. If they go to 40 cents, I'll be a little sad, but I'll be full from this, for sure.
Ming, I think it's important for people to know that in any Chinatown in the city, it's not just about Chinese food. You have a lot of great culinary stuff from all over the world.
Yes, just like this Vietnamese spot that we're going to next, Ba Xuan. They sell mung bean cakes here too. Number 1.
Thank you.
In this banh mi, we got a number 1. This is cilantro, pickled vegetables, so like the carrots, the daikon, the pate, they're all the Vietnamese cold cuts. They got a sauce in here that kind of tastes like ketchup, and cucumbers, peppers as well.
I'm never gonna say no to a good banh mi. I actually filmed here about 4 years ago. If my longtime viewers recall, Action Kid and I went to Sunset Park to eat this, where Action Kid spilled his entire Vietnamese coffee all over the park. That's what I'll always remember about this place. That and it was an amazing banh mi. Maybe one of the best I've ever had, actually. A little under 4 years ago, it was $5. What is it now?
It is $8. A month ago we came here, $7.50. So they're kind of, it's going up consistently.
Pretty steady with what's going on in New York. It's not just them, it's inflation in general. It's rock.
Oh, sorry. I'm like,
Oh. That is one balanced bite, I'm telling you. All the layers and textures just work so well together with this sandwich. Starting from the top, starting from the French baguette.
I don't know exactly, but it's like a special mayo type of sauce.
Even though the price has gone up, quality has stayed the same.
One of the best in Brooklyn.
It's even better when the wife's feeding you, huh?
Baguette is like really crunchy. $8 is expensive, but it's still on the cheaper end. I'm still waiting for the days that Subway become $5.
That's like the dollar menu coming back to McDonald's.
One
I think you just have to accept it.
Extra saucy just to bring the taste out, but these are very natural. Natural ingredients, super colorful, full of great taste, and it's naturally sweet.
Just hanging out with you guys at all these spots on 8th Ave. I don't live that far from here. I'm kind of ashamed that I go to the Manhattan Chinatown a lot more. There's so many quality spots here.
At one point, I actually grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, not too far from here. Yeah. But it's rare for me to come here because I was in high school. Now that I'm older, I could drive, I love coming here.
You're enjoying the food adventures that I'm having with Ben and Ming. Adventures like this. Subscribe to their channel if you want to see them eating their way across New York and around the world. They have some great content, trust me. Ben, we started with something super formal, dim sum. And now we're eating street food on sticks, skewers.
It doesn't get better than that. Perfect ending. 拿2个羊，然后2个牛肉。好的。How spicy you want it?
Medium. There's 2 lamb and 2 beef. We don't know what we're gonna get.
Oh, we got
I don't know. I think it's beef.
I'll stick with lamb. This is like s'mores over a fireplace. Is there a more elegant way to eat in New York City than sitting on a red plastic stool? I think not.
I think not. I'm so full, John, but I'm so excited for this.
We've got enough room for meat on a stick. All right, beef, lamb, lamb. Let's try these.
Excited.
Cumin gives us a real nice kick.
The spices in Chinese skewer carts, it's unlike any others.
I've only done this with you one other time in Flushing on a video. And there we were standing on top of a parking garage.
Oh yeah.
And this is even more fun. There's so much to all of New York's Chinatowns, and like, you could spend years exploring and not even scratch the surface. It's crazy.
So true. Come out to Elmhurst with us next time. They'll whip out a whole table too.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have a night of skewers and beer.
That sounds perfect. Sign me up for that. There's great Chinese street food out there.
Yeah.
I think the stereotype is like it's like a noodle shop, dumpling shop, a restaurant, dim sum, but no, you can't sleep on street food either.
Right. The lamb is really lean and the beef is extra fatty. If you like that fatty street food taste, go for the beef.
We were not planning on covering 369 barbecue. This is a little hidden gem.
And right now we're early. Give it another 30 minutes. This street will be filled with street carts. It's going to be a little 8th Ave night market of its own.
We were full, but I think I could easily do 2 or 3 more of these.
Yeah.
Easily, you know?
I'm like, yum. Did you get mild?
Medium.
Oh.
I'm surprised you handled it.
Hanging out with these guys for so long. My spice tolerance has gone up a lot.
Lamb is good.
Making these food videos, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
A lot. They asked us how hot we wanted it. Would you say this is actually one of the most affordable meat skewer carts you've seen?
I would think so. I think $2 is a going rate right now for 2024. So these are 25 cents cheaper.
2020 rates.
2020 rates.
If you think about the value of this, $1.75 for a skewer, this is pure protein. Protein's usually expensive.
Yeah. And honestly, 8th Ave is a great place for food. Like one avenue has it all.
Make it real easy. Just take the R train right there, 8th Ave station. Start your adventure. Today we're going to show you what could be New York's best kept foodie secret. With an incredible mix of global flavors, join us on a mouth-watering journey around 4 continents, one bite at a time here in Sunnyside, Queens. We've got Greg back, native New Yorker and food guide. We are starting at Bolivian Llama Party, and this sounds like a nightclub somewhere in La Paz. Why this spot?
It does. Well, this is actually the only Bolivian restaurant in New York City, and they're very famous for one specific dish that we're gonna try. Amazing.
My name is David Oropeza, and I'm one of the owners here at Bolivian Llama Party. This is our commissary kitchen, actually. We've been here for about 10 years. It's Dan, Diane, this is Maria.
What are you most well known for?
Probably the salteña, for sure. My brother said it best, it's like a soupy dumpling meets an empanada. There's a lot of ways to describe it, but at the end, it's delicious. It's super good.
So she's braiding them now. This is the culmination of a 3-day process. It starts with making the soup base. That takes a day. The dough, chilling the soup base, and then we fill it and then braid it. So every single salteña that you buy here is hand braided, handmade.
When I hear braiding, I think of hair. I don't think of food.
So the funny thing is the braid represents the cholita braids from Bolivia. And the thing is, if these aren't braided properly, they leak in the oven, they explode. All your 3 days of work goes out the window. So this is the filling that's been cooking. There's chicken in here, peas, carrots, potatoes, an egg, always. Everything on the menu is pretty good. We're a pretty firm believer in like not doing throwaways. Yeah. Like everything's got to be good. Our fried chicken sandwich is top 25 for New York Times, and people have been coming to eat that a lot.
We had other locations prior to the pandemic in Columbus Circle, in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. Pandemic came, wiped us out. This was our last location. It was just the kitchen. We were gonna throw in the towel, and we decided let's just give it a shot. It's now become our best location ever. Thank God, and yeah, we're still kicking.
And is this like a family business?
Family in that it's brothers, yeah.
No grandma in the back,
yeah.
stirring.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we'd love that.
I could sleep in a little more
Yeah.
if grandma was here.
Everything is so bright about Bolivian Llama Party. The napkins are bright, the food is bright, the table is bright, everything's
The
bright.
sauce, everything.
Yeah.
The flavors are bright too, and you're gonna taste them very soon.
I was telling David, the owner, that I've never tried a salteña before. And this is reminding me of the first time I ever had a soup dumpling. I was a little afraid because when I did it, I burned the roof of my mouth. So we're gonna try to avoid that experience here. But I've heard nothing but good things about salteñas and this spot. All right, coach me through it. He was explaining it.
I'm not really a pro at this. I make a mess of this all the time.
Okay.
I just kind of hang off for dear life.
Shake.
He said shake.
Yeah.
There we go.
Eating's fun, look.
Yeah, that's the pro tip we learned from David.
All I got was the dough and a little bit of the broth, and you just see the steam coming out of the top. Look what we've unleashed.
Gotta say, at first bite, the dough has a bit of sweetness to it too. Natural sweetness in that dough. Very rich.
Wow, so many flavors as you dig more and more. It's like an adventure.
Dave described this perfectly. It's kind of like a meal all wrapped up in one. But I think you really gotta get that green sauce. There's something in there.
I'm gonna put a little in too.
As good as it is by itself, that green sauce really elevates it to a whole nother stratosphere. I could just drink this green sauce by itself. I actually might do that.
Oh, damn. This thing sneaks up on you. A little broth hidden underneath. You take a bite, volcanic eruption of flavor. You know, he said there's so many ways to describe this, like an empanada on steroids. I'm gonna say it's like an empanada meets a nice hearty stew. I like that. I can't remember the last time I tried something new that I loved this much. And right now they don't have any indoor seating, but plenty of outdoor seating. Spring is here, summer's around the corner. Hang out here. Yeah, great vibes here. Now, because this chicken chicharron sandwich was ranked as one of the top 25 essential dishes in New York City, we kind of had to put it into the video. Yeah. And David was saying that this is an ode to the fast food fried chicken culture of Bolivia, but in sandwich form. Wow.
Very juicy.
I think if these guys just did a fried chicken sandwich, they could be competing with KFC and Jollibee. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was reading that the chicken is marinated in a Bolivian beer, which is also very interesting.
All right, bold statement coming. One of the best fried chicken sandwiches I've ever had in New York. I'm trying to think of one I've liked more. You?
I think I'll agree with you there.
And something that he mentioned about the juices, which I completely love, is that they're not too sweet. Just right. They taste more natural, honestly.
Very light, yeah, not too sweet. I don't like anything that's too sweet. It really complements the food here very well. This is one of the best places to eat in Sunnyside for sure.
What a start to this video. This place is a gem, I have to say. It is so impressed. Greg, we've got souk al shater, which is a killer combo. Lebanese food and a Lebanese market all in one.
Yeah, this is a real Queens gem. You know, when you combine grocery store and restaurant in one, usually it's gonna be good stuff.
All right, let's get in there.
Get 3 chicken shawarma pita and 3 spinach pies, please. So like, it's not just shawarma and grilled meats here, which are always great, but they also have a steam table here. So if you want to eat more vegetables, you're vegetarian, look at all these options here.
And that's mouth-watering, watching your meat get sliced up like that. Oof.
If we were eating so much today, I'd be dying to have some of these desserts. I mean, look at all this.
We could have finished the video right here, you know.
We did a whole video on this spot.
I always like any market you can go to. It's super local, like product of Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanese olive oil, that's very cool. You know it's gonna be good.
I can offer to turn up pickle mid-serving. This is gonna taste even better in the falafel. Oh yeah. Oh, what is it? Thank you. We got some grape leaves as well.
Oh man, I love grape leaves. You know, I have Greek background. These look a little different. These are tightly rolled, it looks like.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What an appetizer.
Got that kind of tangy outside, and you got the savory interior. It tastes a little bit minty inside. Delicious.
I have to say, I love how this is packaged. This is such a good grab-and-go food, isn't it?
It is. That's what I've done many times here.
Yeah, we've been watching this too long. Let's take a bite already. When I eat a shawarma sandwich, typically, first thing that I notice usually aren't the fresh vegetables. That's the first thing that I felt when I took that bite. And then there's delicious chicken underneath.
Oh, this is one that takes a couple bites to really process it all. Because you know, you get that first layer of toum, that's the really intense Lebanese garlic spread. You get that. You get 2 layers of pickles. You get the pickles, the pickled turnips, and you get that little crunch to it too. The meat itself is very delicately seasoned. He has a little bit of that hot sauce in there for a little kick. And I love just the thin wrap. You know, if you're watching your carbs, this is perfect for you. It's very healthy.
We don't normally talk about healthy on this channel. Most of our street food isn't that healthy, but this actually would qualify. I agree. They've got that healthy spread inside. And yeah, pretty thin wrap. So cinematic. Scorsese would be impressed with our choice of filming with the subway running behind us.
If I lived in Sunnyside, I would eat here at least 2-3 times a week. You know, not just getting shawarma every day, but you can get like so many great varieties of food in here.
Do you notice a difference, because this is specifically Lebanese? Most of the experiences I've had in the city, I think, have been more Egyptian style. This is definitely different. A lot more flavors going on, less heavy on the sauce too.
I mean, because that's more the halal cart style. You know, this is really much like a home style. Like everything they make here, you can tell they put a lot of love into it, a lot of care. That's why it's such a local favorite. You know, people coming in and out as we were there filming.
We almost forgot, for dessert, spinach pie action.
Savory dessert. This is very different than a Greek spinach pie. You know, spanakopita, the Greek style, usually has like feta. And even the spinach here is very tangy. I feel they put maybe some vinegar in here. And the dough is very soft and light.
I'm gonna use the word healthy again, but healthy and tasty snack to go.
Agreed.
This definitely qualifies.
Love it.
And that's how you feel after eating at souk al shater.
I agree.
Greg, we're stepping foot into another continent, Africa, Algeria, with Casbah Cafe.
Yeah, Casbah Cafe. This is a really cool looking spot. Algerian food's not so easy to find here in the city, so this is one of the few restaurants that offers it. Excited to check it out.
Let's go. Wow, it's so cozy in here.
It is.
My name is Halim. Casbah is a very old neighborhood in Algiers. You can find Casbah in any country in North Africa, but we started in 2015 with Algerian cookies, and then we started physical business, physical place in 2021. But it wasn't a restaurant at the beginning; it was a coffee shop. But we kind of, North African, Mediterranean with a focus on Algerian cookies. Then people start asking for more Algerian stuff, Algerian cuisine, and gradually we turned it into an Algerian traditional restaurant. Ramadan, we decided to do special menu. It's a soup. It's an Algerian way to break the fast. We call it iftar. Then burak, salad, and we have two main course dishes. One chicken, and the other one is meatballs, garlic meatballs. I would love, if you try it. Right?
Of course.
Is smoked whole wheat soup. They smoke it, they harvest it, they smoke it, and then they grind it with lamb, tomato, and other spices.
I literally feel like we are being served a home-cooked meal. All right, let's try this out.
Wow. Really nice and smoky. Very light.
Definitely has some flavors I've never had before. I mean, I've never tried Algerian food. And a nice tanginess to it. Lamb, so tender.
With that fresh herbs on top, too.
Thinking about that French colonial influence around the world. You have the banh mi sandwich in Vietnam, Algeria. Baguette's very popular. And the feast continues.
Yeah.
Look at this this healthy feast we have awaiting us. Try this rice. Really creamy textures on this. I mean, we're sitting at one of the few Algerian restaurants in New York and probably the United States, okay? We talk about the benefits of eating your way around Queens. This is one of them. So Halim gave us Selecto Algerian soda, which has been around before Coca-Cola. I don't even know how old that is. We're gonna have to look that up. The sugar tastes completely different to me. Can you try it? I want to get your palate on this.
Okay. I'll tell you what, it sounds odd, but when I first cracked it open and gave it a smell, it smelled a little like bubblegum. And I'm almost getting a bit of a bubblegum flavor to this.
It's really nice.
Algerian soda, definitely not on the bingo card today.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is the burek, and he was telling us about how this has like Turkish, Ottoman roots.
This one is with ground beef, onion, potato, and spices.
Now let's take a bite. So pillowy and soft, and we have the meat hiding right inside. Rice has been my whole life. I'm kind of addicted to this. The burek's my favorite thing we've had so far.
Really good.
I gotta tell you. We're working on the protein part of this set menu. We got the chicken with chickpeas. Wow, the chicken, it's so tender, it just comes right off the bone.
I love the chickpeas too. You get a nice cumin flavor in here.
Garlic meatball.
Yeah, very excited when I hear garlic. I love garlic as well.
And with the chickpeas on the side.
More chickpeas. Always down for that.
Much different flavor profile than I would say an Italian style meatball, for example. Much different.
I definitely get that garlic flavor. It's
Yeah.
not like, too overwhelming, which is good.
And he said almost everything here but the soup is always on the menu. All right, the calaboose dessert you saw before being made with the semolina. Very happy. You know what I was just thinking? I wish I had an Algerian green mint tea next to me to wash this down. Look what we have right here. Oof. This is the first time I've had Algerian food, but it will definitely not be the last. If you're looking for something fun to do when you visit the city and you like these videos, check out Greg's food tour. It has been one of the favorites from many of my viewers, saying it was the highlight of their trip to New York. Details down in the description. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, love to see you. Come check it out.
Greg, for dessert, our fourth continent of the day, Europe, meet this bakery.
So this is from Romania. So Sunnyside has a decent sized Romanian community.
Then we did pass a Romanian church a couple blocks away. Check us out.
Mr. Nita is here for 42 years ago.
And how important is this place, like the local Romanian community?
Very important. All the people is very happy when they come here.
It's amazing because you have Romanian staples here, and then you have like a hamantash, and you have Jewish baked stuff, you have American baked stuff, you have a little bit of everything here.
But we're here for the Romanian sweets, and when you walk in here, it smells really good, like a good bakery is supposed to smell.
I would totally ruin dinner at this place.
Fateuri. This is a puff with cheese, very flaky, very interesting.
You know what this reminds me of? This Brazilian cheese bread I've had before.
Pão de queijo?
Yeah, a little bit.
I see what you mean. They're really nice.
We'll share one of the amandinas.
One amandina?
Yeah, but these are the two most popular things here.
Yeah, and I show you something.
Okay, okay.
Dobosh cake. It's vanilla cake, chocolate cream, and caramel. It's very good too.
What else?
Apple strudel. The best apple strudel. It's very, very good.
What's your favorite thing?
My favorite is cheese Danish. It's sweet cheese. It's very good.
It's amazing. A spot like this, we came for one item and we were leaving with like 9 things. She just kept giving us extra.
It's like our Romanian auntie that we never had. Like the hospitality in there was pretty incredible. Sit at the chess table.
Man, I don't know how we still have room in our stomachs for all this. This has been a crazy day.
This is the kozanak, so it's a pretty traditional bread that's usually around Christmas and Easter. It smells a little boozy too.
You think there's rum in this?
There might be. I know there's walnuts in here.
Try it. It's not too sweet. I like that about it. You think about American desserts, it's just sugar overload. No.
It's got a very eggy taste to it. Sweet eggy taste, almost kind of like a brioche flavor. But a bit of a citrus in there too. The only thing it's missing is some coffee. It's go great with coffee.
So I always say to Greg, I'm not gonna finish this. I'm just gonna take a bite, and here I am working my way through it. So this is the amandina. She said it was their best seller.
It's chocolate, cake, and rum syrup.
Rum syrup.
Rum syrup, there we go. You can smell the booze right away.
If you didn't tell me that there was rum syrup, I would have said, something tastes a little boozy, a little alcoholic here.
I like the couple layers. I like the outer cream. Yeah. It really gives it a nice, like, soft kind of texture compared to the inside, which is soaked with that rum syrup. Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, Nitas. I would say hidden gem, but I actually think it's pretty well known in Sunnyside. I'm sure a lot of people around the city or visiting have never heard of it. And something important to know about Sunnyside itself is that you are very close to Manhattan. What, 15 minutes by 7 train?
Yeah, on a good day, about 15 minutes.
So this entire video, you could walk it easy.
The East Village of Manhattan, one of the city's hippest neighborhoods, and it's also home to some of the city's best cheap eats. Today, we'll be showing you can't miss budget bites in the East Village. Don't watch this video on an empty stomach. You've been warned. I feel like I'm third wheeling on a date here.
The interior is sick. It's got like octopus, pirates, lights, everything.
This isn't your like average hole-in-the-wall dumpling spot. This is very new.
Hi guys, welcome. So dumpling and dip is Thai style dumpling from Thailand. We specialize in homemade dumpling. Right now we have 10 different flavors. So we have vegan option for the customer. We also have regular pork, chicken, gluten-free option as well. And highly recommend for chicken green curry and spicy pork basil.
Homemade Thai milk tea. Wow. Party platter, perfect for a small group. All right, we've got the party platter and some extras they gave us. So we have 10 different types of dumplings here, guys. Let's give it a bite. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Shrimp is really good. Nice and crunchy.
This is really spicy. They're not playing around.
Same. It's so good though.
I mean, Ben, you were saying that you saw some differences that are more Thai style than Chinese style here.
I would say so. You know, everyone loves dumpling, everyone loves Thai food. and they really stepped it up in terms of putting the two together. And you have the best of Thai food, like the fresh seafood, all the herb. So I think they really stepped it up, created their own lane with this Thai dumpling combo.
Yeah, like in New York, just the dumpling game is so crowded. I think you have to do things a little bit differently to get some attention these days.
I'll try this octopus dumpling.
No, I'm not a big octopus guy, so I'm letting them do it. What do you think of it?
It's amazing.
You guys agree this could be the perfect group activity? Get a party platter like this. They've got barcade across the street. They've got karaoke.
We should check this place out at night.
Yeah.
And then go karaoke.
Word.
I mean, you got St. Mark's right here, which is one of the busiest, most hopping streets in all of New York City for nightlife. I think they put this in like the perfect location.
Yeah.
Oh, this Thai milk tea is really good with this. Chili oil, missing link here, wow. Got a nice kick to it, but I can handle it. Ming ate this all by herself. You know, one of the biggest food crazes I've seen in the city the last couple years are Korean corn dogs.
Big time, thanks to TikTok.
Thanks to TikTok.
Yep.
Not only do they have Korean corn dogs here, but they got K-pop albums as well. Now, this isn't my thing. Do you know anything about K-pop, Ming?
Actually, you know, I love the old school stuff, Big Bang.
I don't think most Korean corn dog spots have K-pop. This is unique.
Yeah.
All right, number 1, number 4, number 5, number 12.
Yes.
My stick's gonna break.
You guys went wild with the condiments, my God.
This is a monster.
All right, I've actually never tried this before. I'm super excited. Ready?
Big bite, John, big bite.
Big bite, let's do it.
Cheers.
I'm working to that level. I never would have thought that powdered sugar on top of a corn dog would work as well as it's working right now, but somehow amazing.
Crunchy, cheesy, spicy, savory, sugary, all in one.
She sounded like a commercial for this place, right? I can understand why this got so popular on TikTok. Just watching Ben with those cheese pulls. This is actually a fun food to eat. There we go.
I think it takes some skills. Let me do it.
Skills I lack. I've never felt so left out in my entire life. So, disclaimer, I just realized that neither of them actually had hot dogs in their K-dogs. It was just cheese and I think sweet potato and cheese. Hence, it was easier for the cheese pull. I don't feel as bad anymore. Ming, you recommended Yubu for this video. You've been here a few times, right?
I love this place. It's rice pockets of joy.
Since this is one of Ming's favorite spots in the East Village, she's gonna order.
Yeah, basically beef bulgogi, 4 of them. Pork, spicy chicken cheese, mushroom bulgogi, spicy mushroom, crab meat, salmon, avocado, and the fish roll. And then we got 3 aids.
All right, this is inari. If you don't know what it is, rice-filled tofu pockets with different meats or toppings. This looks a little bit like sushi here. Ben, so we've got another spot here in Yubu that's been open about a year. So the Asian cheap eat scene in the East Village just keeps getting tastier and tastier.
Oh yeah. And this place here offers high quality protein that I don't feel bad eating at all.
Yeah, usually when you think of cheap eats, you're thinking carbs, you're thinking carb overload.
You do have some carbs here, but you have some high quality protein.
Oh, yeah, I got beef bulgogi on top and
some salmon, basically sashimi. And what I gotta say is that they get the tofu, rice, and protein ratio down right.
Let's try this. My first time here. Let's do it.
Wow.
So soft, just melts in your mouth. I love how spongy it is and flavor of the bulgogi's just right.
The salmon is so fresh, oh my god. I didn't expect to get fresh salmon from a Korean quick bite. Like you said, how fast it melts in your mouth. If you're not careful, you get full from these easily.
feel like I could just knock these out one by one pretty quick.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous. All right, I'm gonna try the salmon now. I wanna see how fresh this is. Wow, I think I might like the salmon better. Right? Super fresh. Really similar sushi vibes for me with the salmon on top of the rice. Really similar, but heartier, clearly, bigger. Ben and I were actually having this conversation that the St. Mark's area probably has the most diverse Asian cuisine for quick eats, cheap eats in all New York City.
I think so, yeah. I remember from my high school days, it used to be a lot of Japanese, quirky Japanese seats. Now it's a lot of Korean, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Taiwanese boba shops. You get everything here.
Guys, here, these drinks are called Aid, Yuzu Aids, and this one is the grapefruit aid, and that is the honey citron aid. And they're basically like fruit soda, a great addition. Really refreshing to these little pockets.
The key is you have to stir it.
Yes.
Before you drink it. I drank it without stirring it, and I'm like, guys, what's the hype here? Like, completely ignorant to what this was, so.
Like, John needs to stir it, and he's like poking it.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, no, that's not how you stir it. Like a baby, you know? Yeah, but. Also, super cool thing about Yubu is that whenever we ask people, hey, what's your favorite place to eat in the East Village? They say Yubu. Hi, what's your favorite place to eat in the East Village?
Yubu's amazing.
Yubu is also a really good spot too.
I want to let you guys know that Ben and Mig have introduced me to so much amazing cuisine in New York City. Subscribe to their channel. If you think this is an adventure, they go to spots like this all the time. Food adventurers, subscribe right now. All right, you insisted on Lady Wong. Why?
Because I've been noticing a lot of new Southeast Asian food spots, food halls open up. So I think this is a good place to check out.
And it's dessert, best for last.
So we're a Malaysian, Singaporean style bakery. We do a lot of traditional stuff, as well as some more Western style stuff with Southeast Asian flavors. It's fun to bring these flavors to New York City and America in general, just because you really can't get this stuff anywhere else in the country.
2 of the Indonesian rainbow cakes, 2 of the pandan seramucos, and we'll do 2 of the talab jawas. And then if we could get 1 of the black sesame passion fruits, would be great.
Even have like gold fork.
Gold fork, so
that's fancy. Nice touch.
This is so colorful. This will be perfect for Pride next year in New York.
Ooh.
It's actually fun to eat. You can peel the Indonesian rainbow cake layer by layer. All right, here we go.
Sticky.
I'm feeling the hints of coconut right now. Coconut and pandan, very sticky.
So delicious, I love this. Half of this is soft and the other half is sticky rice. Really good texture.
I'm pretty sure this dessert is showcased a lot in Crazy Rich Asian, because that's South Asian food.
Ben, one of your favorite phrases on this channel is it reminds me of something in the Philippines, but this time you're actually onto something.
This Indonesian rainbow cake smells very familiar. I'm almost positive I grew up smelling this in every fiestas, but I've never had this before. Yep. This is basically a sapin in disguise. Wow.
Back home.
Now I'm officially homesick. This does, in fact, remind me of the Philippines. You'll never see this in the Philippines though, which is so weird.
Black sesame, passion fruit, their best seller. We're splitting it. Try it. I can see why it's a bestseller.
Where'd it go? Melts it.
Just disappears in your mouth.
Even that shell, that custody shell disappears too.
Yeah, this is delicious. It's sweet and sour and so good.
This would be an amazing pastry to bring to a birthday party. You will impress the birthday person, I promise you.
I'll eat a whole birthday cake of this.
I'm absolutely blown away by the options here. Everything in this video is within less than a 5-minute walk. And we barely scratched the surface of the East Village cheap eat scene. Like, could do part 2, 3, 4, and 5 if we wanted. Midtown Manhattan, the heartbeat of New York City, but it's not exactly known as being cheap. Today, we're gonna change that. I'm gonna be sharing some of the best lunch specials in the Times Square area, all around $10. You're gonna love this. Here we go. The only thing I'm missing is a co-host. Hey Ben, you eat lunch?
Lunch?
Sure. The whole area around Rockefeller Center is full of food trucks during the week, during lunchtime, but there's one in particular I want to highlight. For 10 bucks, a flame grilled steak.
Our part is like offer Thai style. It's like a classic steak that we have a big pieces and we slice the meat for you. All of meat we marinate already.
Thank you so fast. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you. $10 and it feels like I've got 5 pounds of meat here. We have the steak, lots of mayo on top, French fries, and some veggies on top of a bed of rice. This is a heck of a value for 10 bucks. If you have cash, 10 bucks. All right, big bite. I can taste the marinade, like I taste it right away. With the mayo on top, the flavor just complements it so well, wow.
This is the basil steak, and I got the spicy mayo. And I see there's some vegetables here too that they added. So I'm gonna give this steak a try. Wow. You know how people say this is my cup of tea? This is my bowl of rice and steak. This is good.
It's amazing because we are standing in the exact same location where Adele's, my favorite halal truck, opens at 6. It's good to know that there is an amazing lunch option in the exact same spot. All right, I think our next stop is this way, but our newborn's about 2 weeks old, so I'm a little sleep deprived. We totally could get lost. This is the kind of place that if you blinked, you would miss it just walking down 51st Street. But a lot of you have mourned the loss of Aquario Cafe, the fabled $5 Midtown lunch special. Well, Zorali has amazing Dominican food, not much more expensive. Let's check it out. Can we just do the beef stew for 10? Yeah, I'd love one of those. It's pouring rain and there's a line out the door for this. The first thing we gotta talk about here is the value for $10. I mean, a lot of beef stew. We've got some plantains, yellow rice, and black beans. I think this could feed 2 people in a lot of cases.
Definitely.
I want to take a big bite here of this beef stew. Take a bite too. Let's try this at the same time. It melts in my mouth.
Yeah, that sauce. That sauce is really good.
I'm remembering Aquario Cafe. They didn't have seats like this though. We're under a tarp. It's pouring rain. We're sitting outside eating food that I think if you went to a sit-down Latino restaurant would be 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I think what impresses me most about this dish is that we have so many different ingredients going on. It's not just beef stew and rice. It's not something simple like that. We've got about 5 different things on top.
All I could think of right now having this is just like, everything is genuine, you know?
Yeah.
As real as it could get. All the locals love it.
Oh yeah.
The people in the kitchen are Dominicans, and
even though we're drinking Coco Rico, which is from Puerto Rico, so having a nice Caribbean lunch here, this is just $1 extra. We're like, I don't know, 12 minutes or less by foot to Times Square, and it's a completely different vibe here. And they were super nice in there, by the way. Like everyone there, I think, knew how it worked, what they wanted. The lady explained it to me very calmly, what the lunch specials were. So depending when you come, it could be a different lunch special, but I say go for it.
There's something with just beef stew too, you know? It's just like, it's hot, it's cheap, it hits the spot.
Yeah, beef stew, melts in your mouth. A little bit of a colder day. We're entering the fall right now. Got my medium jacket on for the first time. Yeah, this is perfect. This is a lunch I'm not gonna forget anytime soon.
This might be low-key a local favorites because it's like even this van right here, like the people inside, they're probably just on their break and they're eating the same food from Zorali's.
If you're watching this video, you probably love cheap eats. I've got good news. We just released our newest Manhattan Cheap Eats guide where I just dump all the info from my channel, the best cheap spots we've ever covered and more into one guide. Just by purchasing this guide, you are gonna save a fortune on your trip to New York, knowing where to go to save money. We've got photos, reviews, audio, video, even GPS so you can see exactly where these restaurants and street food carts are. It's also updated in real time, so when we visit new spots that I think are worth it, I add it to the list and you get it for free
automatically. Check the link down below in the description, 50% off, limited time only.
It's amazing how many tourists stop at 8th Ave. They don't go one avenue over to 9th Ave, the beginning of Hell's Kitchen. This whole avenue is full of local restaurants where you'll almost never see tourists. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Midtown.
I'm still convinced that Easy Paella has one of the best sit-down lunch specials in all of Midtown.
One of the things that makes Easy Paella different is we serve the paella in an easy way. So if you come here, just sit down, you probably have your paella served within the first 10 minutes. So you don't have to wait 45 minutes for a paella. We have very easy experience to try the best paella in town. Well, lunch specials here are great. We have sangrias, we have burritos, we have lunch-sized paellas, and now we're gonna have arepas.
One of my favorite things about a spot like Easy Paella is like small, family-owned business. This is the lifeblood of the New York City culinary scene. Places like this, love the Venezuelan, Spanish fusion, and Alex said he's not positive, but he believes this is the only paella burrito in the entire world for $9.95 during lunch specials. You're trying something pretty special here. What really does it for me is how unique it is to have a burrito shell with the paella rice. Never had that before, and somehow it just works out brilliantly. Love the flavor, love the chicken, so much going on. It's like the perfect marriage. Paella burrito. Less than 10 bucks for this.
Paella in Latin America and in Spain is the reason to celebrate. Birthdays, Father's Day, why not? Paella is the main dish.
Look how big this sangria is, passion fruit for $5.95.
Well, if you have a group of 6 people or more, we have the best place to celebrate your birthday because the birthday person gets to eat and drink for free.
I did want to note they have vegetarian options here, vegetarian burritos and vegetarian arepas. This is new to the menu. Black bean, Venezuelan cheese. I've actually never tried this here before. Take a nice bite. Wow. If it ain't messy, it ain't right. Ben the cameraman, hashtag.
This is kind of spicy, actually.
He told you not to put too much. Ben, you are not listening. I like this. You just put the whole thing. All right.
It's spicier, but it's so good. It's worth the pain.
You gonna hose him off?
Oh. No, not yet, not yet.
If you come here, eat a meal, and say you saw Easy Paella on Here Be Barr, he will give you either a free sangria, a free wine, or a free tapas. Any one of those three. Try it. 20 minutes from Midtown is the most diverse neighborhood on the planet. Jackson Heights, Queens, an international foodie mecca that's still off the radar. Today we're going to be concentrating on Bengali food with a local. This is a tour you don't want to miss. I don't need fancy food.
Right.
I want authentic, and if you want authentic food, this is where you go.
If you want to come out from your comfort zone and want to try something new and try something cultural, authentic, then you should definitely check out this place.
Smells just hit me the second you walk in. I love that. Like, oh, so many spices.
So many spices, yeah. Especially my favorite section is right up here with lots of biryanis right here, different flavors.
You've got the grocery store next door, and then you have the restaurant separated here. And judging by the looks of it, I think I'm the only person here who's not from Bangladesh.
Yes, right. It's mostly, as I say, it's mostly Bangladeshi and Indian people love to eat here.
Do you know how big the Bengali population is in New York City?
Yeah, I guess in New York City, it around 75,000 of Bengali people. So basically they made it with some smashed potato, sliced onion,
peas, carrots.
It's a vegetable shingara, that's why.
All right, let's try this. This is absolutely delicious.
I know most of the people, whenever they think about Bengali food or Indian food or South Asian food, they imagine that it would be super spicy, but it's not all the time.
We have utensils here, but you're telling me we don't need them.
Yes, basically in Bangladesh, people used to eat with their hand because this is like, you will feel more connected with the food. You just need to grab some of this chicken and the rice, make a ball, like a snowball. You're
like a
making
snowball?
Yeah, like a snowball.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. You definitely need some practice, but I think you're doing good.
Look, after a month in Japan, I could use chopsticks like a pro, so I think I need a month in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And some new experiences here for me in Jackson Heights. That's what it's all about in New York.
Yeah, that's all about
Like stepping
New
out of
York.
your comfort zone. It could be through a lot of things, but definitely through food.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize what you could find about 20, 25 minutes from Times Square.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite type of food in Jackson Heights? That's not Bengali.
Beef bihari kebab. I used to come almost every other day. It's right over there. It's called Shahi Darbar. It's an Arabian food. I like that.
This food's fantastic. Fantastic experience already. And we have so much of it. I don't even know how we're going to finish all this, to be honest
It'll
with you.
take a while to finish all of this.
So like almost every single business here is either Bengali or Indian.
Indian, yes, correct. So this is a pretty diverse road, you can say. For example, if you look across the street, this grocery shop called Apna Bazaar, it's one of the biggest Indian grocery shop in this neighborhood. There is Mannan, that's the biggest grocery shop for Bengali owners.
Amidst all of this, we still have $1.50 pizza here.
Oh, of course, this is New York.
It's
How you could miss
still New York after all.
Yes. Basically, this is the Flatiron building of Jackson Heights. Look at this, Moonlight Grill and Bar.
But in Jackson Heights, it's an Indian restaurant. How fitting. Of all the street food I've ever eaten in New York City, this may be my favorite. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Oh, wow. It's so crazy.
This puts a smile on my face every single time. For people who don't know what fushka is, how would you describe it?
So basically, fuska is a kind of street food of Bangladesh that is very popular. Fine ingredient like mashed potato and other sort of spices. It's secret. Sometimes they don't share, but coriander powder. So they all mixed it up and put into this puffed bread, you call. They make this tamarind chutney, it's called.
Okay.
And this is how it's made.
And there's a little bit of shredded egg on top.
Oh yeah, they just spread some egg, so it's give you more kick of the flavor.
Okay, so you want to cheer? One bite, everybody
One
knows
bite,
the rules?
one bite, that's the rules.
All right, ready? Let's do it. I love the spices of the chutney. Oh,
it's so good.
I think if you read our expressions, you can see how much we enjoy that bite.
Right.
It's just like flavor, wham!
Just busting inside your mouth. Oh my gosh, it's so highly recommend this food. Crazy.
I'm obsessed with these.
Me too, man.
The amount of times I've almost gotten a ticket, parking on the side illegally, just so I can have a bite of this. It's crazy.
Definitely.
Here we go. There's not enough amount of parking tickets. That'll make that not worth it. And I got a lot of tickets. Actually, I need to change my parking in like 5 minutes. There it is.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. Male 25 to 34. I think he was.
When we go to any relative's home or any special occasion, we usually go with some sort of dessert. Especially we prefer this sweet. So there are a bunch of option varieties you can choose from.
And this is the equivalent of bringing donuts or cookies to someone's house in Bangladesh.
Right.
You know what I always notice when you eat sweets from other cultures and other countries compared to American food? It's not as obnoxiously sweet. It's like very subtle.
Right.
It's very subtle and it doesn't overpower you that much.
Right.
How important do you think it is having bakeries like this, restaurants like this to your community?
It's very important because not only Bengali, as I mentioned, Indians, without this sweet, some sort of events are incomplete. In order to attend any events, like for example birthday or someone marriage, or you are going to a relative's house after a long time, this kind of sweets are very generous.
And this helps keep your traditions alive overseas.
Of course.
And there's so many different cultures within Queens and all of New York City that have, there's Russian bakeries, there's Indian bakeries, there's Turkish bakeries. I think a lot of people don't realize how deep the cultures run here and how hard people try to keep those traditions alive, even if they haven't been home in many years.
Right. It doesn't really give you the feels that you are away from home. So yeah, that's a good part of New York City.
Oh, it's so good. You don't have to feel that intimidated. You're visiting New York, you want to come to a bakery like this. Even if you don't know what the things are, you can always ask. The people
They're
are very friendly.
I think most of the New Yorkers are very friendly.
It's not the reputation that a lot of tourists have of New Yorkers, but I think it's because they think of New York as just Midtown Manhattan and just that madness. And that's the thing with Jackson Heights. I've never gotten the vibe this is a touristy area. At most, I would say it's an area for people that are like foodies or adventurous. They want to try different cultures out, which I'm hoping if you watch this video, you fall into this category. But I still think that your average tourist is never going to come here. And in a selfish way, I kind of like that because it maintains this charm, but I also feel like a lot of people are missing out.
From my point of view as a streamer, I see that Jackson Heights is more popular for the tourists for the airport because they had to take the shuttle bus from
to
here.
LaGuardia. And if you want to explore other parts of New York that aren't really well known, they should watch your YouTube channel.
Oh yes, so basically I operate the New York City walking show. You can see the raw flavor of New York City, different neighborhood, different area, museum. So that's all about my channel.
Subscribe, put in the card up here, well worth it.
Basically in our tradition, we end with a pun. It's some sort of sweet pun that will give you a freshness of your mouth. I think it would be very flavorful, so you should try it.
Let's do it. So instead of having like a mint, we do this.
Yeah, we do this. It's very sweet. But the rule is you have to put everything in your mouth at once.
You know, you go first. Show me how it's done.
Let me do it for you. So, I think so. Wow, it was all at once, but it's very hard for us. Okay, we say we can. Okay.
Man up. Let's try.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's like my mouth is being cleaned. It's like a car wash in my mouth. It's like 20 breath mints at once. Ooh. You got a big date. Have some of that before the date. Your breath is going to be perfect. Midtown Manhattan's known for two things, tourists and commuters, but it has some amazing cheap eats. You know the rules, $10 or less. We'll be eating pizza, halal food, pastries, and even grilled cheese. You don't want to miss it. One thing we've been sorely lacking in this series are coffee shops. 10,000 Coffee is a brand from Sydney, Australia. They've just opened and they've been super busy. I love the modern minimalistic feel here. You can tell they're concentrating on the most important element, the coffee. We even have bean cards here where you find out the exact details of the coffee blend you're about to drink. Let's do one of the espresso cream lattes with honey cookie. The other will be a panela latte. Then we'll do the Columbia pour over. The cool thing is if you order any of their signature coffee, it comes with a pairing menu and you get a free sweet on the side.
Best latte ever. It's sweet. I like that. I'm not an expert at coffee, but I think I can tell when I love a coffee and when I don't, and I really, really love this one. Like, it's really, really good.
The amount of effort that the staff puts in to make each and every one of these coffees, absolutely impressive. Well worth the price. Espresso cream latte, a little chocolate on top, and I'm gonna take a bite of my little honey cookie after. It's got just like the little hint of chocolate flavor. This is pure art. I don't know if I've ever enjoyed an iced coffee more in my entire life. Seriously, if you are a coffee aficionado, owe it to yourself to try this. So for a little extra, I bought myself a croissant too. And we're not that far from Times Square.
This should be your first coffee in New York City.
We're talking about first pizza. Yeah. This could be your first coffee in New York.
I have to say, I always drink my coffee really slow. Sometimes it gets cold. Look at this, like I can't stop drinking.
It's true, I live with her.
It's quite an experience. I think this is the first black coffee I've had that didn't make me go, you know, like when you go like.
65 degrees in early March. This day is an absolute blessing. To be spending it doing cheap eats, it's just like icing on the cake. This one's a little bit of a no-brainer since the Empire State Building is right across the street. Oh, it smells so good. Can I get 1 grandma, 2 cheese? Little Italy Pizza has the exact same owners as Bleecker Street Pizza, and you all know that's my favorite pizza spot in the world. I've actually been here a couple of times, love the spot. Got the margarita slice right here. Looks a little bit like the Nonna Maria for my Bleecker Street Pizza fans out there. You can tell they're in the Bleecker Street Pizza family because the marinara sauce on top, very similar to the tomato sauce on the Nonna Maria, and this crust is so flaky. I'm usually not someone that compliments the crust of a pizza when I take my first bite, but wow. You're in Midtown Manhattan, Little Italy Pizza, you can do a lot worse for your first New York City slice. This is fantastic.
This is what I imagined when I saw the Ninja Turtles pizza. It's so good. I'm in my happy place.
I'm trying the famous grandma slice, which is what they're known for at Little Italy Pizza. Like Nonna Maria style, but on the Sicilian. It's like a really thin, flat crust. Very different from your traditional Sicilian that you'll get in New York City, which I always feel like is more puffed up. Really unique, and again, I know the owners here, I know the ingredients they use. It's really good. All right, let's get one classic. Got the goods. I've been to Melt Shop many times before. I know the quality of this spot. Got 5 locations in New York City. And in order to keep this cheap eats, I had to get the classic Melt, American and cheddar cheese on white bread. Now, many of you ask Adriana and I, how do we stay so slim doing all these cheap eats videos? I'll tell you how, by splitting stuff sometimes. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's something that's so simple, but they have really high quality cheese. They're American and they're cheddar. It's just simple, just simplicity here that works.
It's so crunchy, I really like that. This is definitely one of my favorite things of US.
Really, what are some other American foods that you're into outside of grilled cheese? Now I'm curious.
I like chicken and waffles.
Okay.
I never thought about that combo before, and it's so good. Mac and cheese is also really good. I tried it in Mexico before, but that's American. I really like that too.
They do grilled cheese here, they do mac and cheese here. You want a slice of the United States? No pun intended, come here. Empire State Building pointed to pizza, Radio City Music Hall points to some amazing halal food. Everyone's always talking about the halal guys. I say give Adele's here a look instead. I always know it's a good sign when there's a long line forming. If it was your first time, what would you recommend I get?
Probably. If you get the spicy rice, I would get the sauce on the side.
Combos?
You like yellow rice or spicy rice?
What do you think? Spicy?
How adventurous do you feel like?
Feeling adventurous. What I find funny is that a lot of tourists think that hot dogs are what the local New Yorkers eat. No. Halal food, a combo rice platter like this, this is real New York. This is what the locals are actually eating. Lamb, little pieces of pita, chicken in here, spicy rice, some lettuce, and it is just absolutely drenched, and I mean drenched in white sauce. Big bite. A yogurt sauce, so creamy, so much flavor. Spicy rice doesn't feel too bad. I didn't put any hot sauce on it. How much better does it get than this? They got Radio City Music Hall right across from us and some epic street food. Oh, man. Where has Adele's been my entire life? They didn't know we were coming. They had no clue. They didn't pay me to say this. This is some of the best halal I've ever had in my entire life. Oh, honestly blown away. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. Knowing New Yorkers and seeing a long line like this of non-tourists, I'm not surprised. When you see a long line of locals in New York, you know something's up.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Wow.
You can tell when John really likes something because he raises his eyebrows and then he goes just one knock. He's like, oh my god, this is so good.
My brain short circuits, yeah. Insider tip. You want a nice dinner to bring back to your hotel room in Midtown? Stop by here, $9. You'll feast like a king. Thank me later. Flushing, Queens, one of New York's best places to eat cheap and eat well. Today we're going on a Chinatown food crawl to show you some amazing hidden gems for as little as $2. We'll be joined by 2 Chinese-American YouTubers who know all the secret places. You don't want to miss it. Best cheap eats in New York are hidden down some random corridor like this.
You're absolutely right, John, because the one we're going to right now is actually all the way to the back.
Wow. I feel like we're going on an adventure here.
Would you ever come all the way down here?
Now that you guys are showing me, I'm up for it. Okay, this is how you know it's real. The menu's not in English. This is how you know.
We're gonna get the peanut style noodles and also the wonton soup.
Pretty simple. Wow. Look at this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got my trusty vinegar here. I love putting vinegar in this soup because I have a special place for sourness. But you don't need to put vinegar in there because the soup actually tastes really good by itself as well.
So this is like Chinese grandma food.
Yeah.
Comfort.
Everyone loves this. Everyone comes here and they get this.
It's so silky, you're right. Just disappears down your throat. Let's add some vinegar. I have to say, this is one of the coolest spots in New York City to eat. I feel like we work in the restaurant and we're in the back just chilling here right now.
They were like, come, welcome, sit,
Like,
sit.
yeah, sit. What's the key here with the peanut noodles?
You just flip them like 100 times. Get all the sauce in between all the noodles. My parents make this at home, but I like these more.
Do they just pay me to do this, come in here and just mess around?
All right, you missed some spots.
Every single noodle's got to be drenched.
Everything has to be the same color, like so.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple comfort food. In the back alley here of Flushing.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, this is as good as it looks. Wow, that's impressive. That is impressive. It's just right. It's not super sweet, like, I don't know, a pad thai. It's just subtle, nice. For $6 here, I ate the whole thing, I'd be full. I really think I'd be full. Is there any better value in New York City than Chinese food? I don't know. Dollar pizza, but dollar pizza's not this interesting for me.
My favorite is Chinese food.
I've been filming in New York for over 5 years. I think this is the most hole-in-the-wall, hidden gem spot I have ever filmed at.
I agree. Honestly, I told my friends, ditch the McDonald's, be brave, come in here, check it out, because you might not be able to do it in a few years.
Because spots like this are disappearing.
Oh, big time, yeah. There was a lot more even just 2-3 years ago, but now you see brand new buildings everywhere, and this is one of the last ones in town. Famous green menu. You can see it everywhere online.
But here we're gonna eat number 3 and 4, which are the fish balls and the Fuzhou dumplings with soup.
Two plates here. Start with the fish balls.
Ming showed me and I love them ever since. I'm a protein lover. I love meat. Whenever I eat meatballs, it's always fish meatball or pork meatball. It's one thing. For this one, they stuff pork inside of fish.
Pork inside of fish?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it shoots out a little bit, the broth.
Everyone got a bite.
Got that fishy flavor on the outside and then a little bit of pork.
Pork, yep.
On the inside.
Oh!
Party foul. All right, let's do it. Got a little surprise on the inside.
I'm not Fujianese myself, but when I visited Ming's family, they actually do eat this.
Okay.
Sometimes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The Fujianese region of China, where your family's from, is there one dish they're most well known for?
Fuzhou is also in the southeastern part of China, which is near the coast. It's a coastal city, so they're known for seafood as well.
So fish balls, obviously. Perfect.
Here is a Fujianese dumpling, and you could have these fried or in soup, and here we have a soup option.
And pork inside.
With pork inside, yep. And just like the last one, the skin is very thin.
All right, let's try it. Let's do it.
This is more my style. This is definitely more my style.
No fish taste here.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't love the fishy taste. If you're into that, you'd like this. So we got the silky smooth exterior, nice serving of pork right in the middle.
We're doing a cheap eats video today, but sometimes I feel like these cheap dishes is actually what tells a better story about the culture.
I think so.
Yeah. Like I would say, if you look at Vietnamese, what would you say? The pho is a signature dish.
Yeah.
And I think with that, it also has a humble origin story.
But I'm really enjoying hearing the story of this particular food and how it pertains to Ming and her family. I think that ties it all together really nicely, actually. I want to go to your house and eat some of this.
Oh man, their cooking is amazing.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Non-stop.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a Mexican family?
Like 6 meals a day.
6 meals a day?
Literally.
With fruits in between, and they literally eat until 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I have another one. I filled it. Look at it. It's gorgeous.
You're so happy. You're so happy. She's so proud. You're also invited to her family's house now. We've all earned our invites, all right? I'm going too. The adventure continues. I used to say that Times Square was the busiest place in New York City, but lately I think Flushing is winning. My subway was so crowded coming here, the subway station, the main street. I mean, I'd love to see the area coming back to life.
Yeah.
Flushing, Queens has got to be one of the only spots in New York City where you could go and legitimately not see English at a lot of these businesses.
It's funny, you know, I never noticed that until until you joining us. You're right. Actually.
Okay. Okay,
Wow.
好，谢谢. They gave us all of it.
I want to recognize us from our last video. So honored.
You guys are doing good work here.
Thank you.
Huge fan? Are you a huge fan? No.
We're gonna have a little fun here. Ben and Ming want me to try this without telling me what's inside and see if I can figure it out.
But John will give you a clue. We'll tell you the name in Chinese.
This is called Hai Li Bing, which is also Dibiang in Fujonese.
Oh, I know exactly what this is now.
I like you to just bite into it.
You have a very devilish grin on your face. I'm afraid of what's in here. I mean, I'll try anything
The
once.
surface is fine, right? There's
It looks
just peanuts.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a dessert to me.
All right, I'll take it.
Let's try this.
Surprise!
I don't know, vegetables? What am I missing?
Just vegetable. he was scaring you. He's trying to scare you.
It didn't sound like there was squid or something crazy inside of this. It's just veggies. Or what kind of vegetable is it?
Cabbage and a lot of different things.
Oh man, let down. It tastes a lot healthier. I was surprised about that.
Yeah.
Just from the outside of it, never having tried this, I was expecting, I don't know, either something crazy, or if he didn't say that, just chocolate. It looked like a dessert to me.
Try it out.
Fried exterior, veggie inside.
Yes.
I keep thinking it's French toast, and the flavor is completely different.
This is a breakfast item.
Yeah.
So look, it tastes better right when it comes out in the oven. In the morning. Right now we're here in the evening.
I gotta give Ben and Ming credit. They always take me to spots that I've never heard of, and I try foods that I knew nothing about. I'm just expanding my palate because of YouTube. Such good friends. They're a great YouTube channel as well. You better subscribe to them if you're into these kind of cheap eats adventures. All right, up there, definitely not cheap eats.
That's like fancy dim sum in the morning and wedding venues in the evening.
I haven't been this close to food coma level in I don't know how long. This carb overload, I just want to pass out right now. Take a good long nap.
A lot of liquids.
Yeah. I'm gonna slurp it.
I'm gonna do what you do.
It looks more fitting for this environment.
Okay.
Cheers, John.
Cheers. Very refreshing.
Yeah.
So it's just a mix of soybean and milk together. Pretty simple.
Yep.
They make it out of this huge machine.
They serve it as early as 5 in the morning. People start going to work. Train station is literally 20 feet away. Yeah, and all types of people come in here, not just Chinese people.
We've had at least 3 people sitting in that seat since we started filming here right now. We don't own this restaurant. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
Oh yeah, a little spicy too.
Yeah.
Actually just woke me up. I was this close to a food coma and now I'm back. I should have started with this.
Yeah, this is like an egg drop soup, but with tofu.
What do you tell our viewers who might be intimidated to come here, not speaking Chinese, never been to Flushing before?
I would say come with a trusty set of pictures of what you want to eat. That way you don't need to speak the language because pictures tell 1,000 words.
I think for $20 you could be beyond full.
Oh yeah.
20 bucks would go so far here.
Even in today's inflation day and age.
Members of the barrio, today we're going to be eating our way through the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We're going to be showing you some of the best cheap eats in the area with somebody born and raised here. You don't want to miss it.
The Lower East Side can be very expensive, but today we're going to show you the best cheap eats. Before El Cabrón expanded, it was just the kitchen. It was just a to-go spot. You went to the window, said what you wanted, and you got the tacos, and you left. The food's so good, and the tacos are great, the burritos are great, that they expanded their business.
¿Cuál es el mejor?
Todos.
¿Todos?
Todos.
Kid you not, 3-4 years ago, you could barely find birria anywhere in New York City. Now, almost every single Mexican place, it seems, is offering it. Most important part, gotta dip the taco in the consomme. So you're basically dipping it in its own juices. Let's try this. That's really good. And they give you a lot of birria too. It's like 13 for 3 of these. This is stuffed pretty nicely, wow.
Ooh. Oh my God. This is like de-stressing me right now. I had a stressful day in the office, and this is what de-stresses me. Birria is a beautiful thing. I don't know where it came from. I do know it came from Mexico. I don't know who invented it. Whoever invented it, I want to shake your hand and take you out for dinner. They underestimate the taco game in New York City, but I'm gonna tell you what, it's improving.
I still think the best tacos I've ever had in the US were in LA, but I think New York is stepping it up. Give New York another 5 or 10 years, and we'll see where it stands up against LA in the taco game.
I have an idea what they should do. They should make a chopped cheese and put the birria sauce on the chopped cheese.
We've covered birria pizza on the channel. We're gonna do birria chopped cheese next.
I'm telling you, it will work. It's getting a little nippy out here. You wanna get some soup? I hear they got some good soup here.
All right, you hear they got good soup? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Come on, let's go.
Sopa de pollo.
Sopa de pollo.
Hey, let's get it. Got it right. You want the Super de Pollo, you come to De Agua in the lower, in the 537.
You're the reason I live in New York.
I'm the reason you live in New York? Really?
My son and I. He watched everything.
Yeah? Thank you so much. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What do you say when someone says that to you?
Dominicans, they make up a huge proportion of the population in New York City, and I think personally, down here in the Lower East Side, De Agua, this is the best soup right here.
Dominican chicken soup, there's gonna be bone in it. Typical American chicken soup won't have bone, but I'll tell you, when you have the chicken coming off the bone, you know it's gonna be fresh, you know it's gonna be good. It's November 1st, so we're just like, we're inching closer and closer to winter. I mean, this is practically a meal right here anyway. And we have some toasted bread. I think this is like Texas toast, a little garlic.
Oh man. Besides my grandmother's soup, this is probably the tastiest soup that I've ever had in my life. And like you said, even the chicken with the bones on, it's so much more tasteful than boneless chicken. But I feel like the broth, like I want to know what they put inside the broth because it's so flavorful. Like I want to know the ingredients. I want my grandmother to make this for me. Growing up as a kid, there were so many more shops like this. It's just good to have in the neighborhood, you know, because the prices are going up, you know. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
No.
So prices are going up, and you know, it's good to have spots like this where it's affordable.
New York City is getting expensive, especially neighborhoods like this one.
Yeah. Now we're on Orchard Street, and growing up, like, I only knew Orchard Street for one thing. That one thing was their leather jackets. It smelled like leather for this whole half a mile because there was just leather fabric stores, Italian suitwear stores they had. But now it's all bars, art galleries, little small mom and pop shop boutiques. So
Can you still smell the leather from 20 years ago?
in my mind, in my soul, I could still smell it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on 2 and 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
They started as an inconspicuous little cart in Corona, Queens, only on weekends, upgrading to a bigger spot on the Lower East Side, getting covered by the New York Times, and then blowing up and being, you know, one of the most popular places here.
That's why I love coming here, because not only is it just the food that you're enjoying, it's the backstory.
Yeah.
You know, it's the hustle that nobody sees, that what goes on behind the kitchen.
I was really pumped Marco took me here because you don't find tamale spots at every corner of Manhattan. Check that out right there. And they make their own masa, which is really difficult, not common at all in New York City. I've had this in Mexico plenty of times. Tastes homemade, man, just fresh, soft, and I'm actually bringing 3 of these home. One for Adriana, and 2 for her ofrenda for Day of the Dead, which is where you give offerings to deceased relatives and friends for that altar. Adriana specifically asked for tamales because her dead relatives and friends love tamales. I love tamales too. On a less dark note, I really wish this was in Brooklyn because I'd be coming here all the time.
The mole poblano, really, really good. Wow, that hit different. That hit different. That's really, really good.
What's like your most signature, Jimmy?
Yeah, the Jimmy's.
You said that like instantly, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That question at least 10 times a day.
10 times a day, right? Smoked ham, the arugula. You have the Regina's Calabrian chili spread, which I think is the difference maker in the Cousin Jimmy.
You're just getting more excited with every ingredient. I like
man,
this.
I love it. I love it. The eagle has landed. Let's get it.
It's like your old school deli meets hipster Manhattan. Some would argue $16. Why is this in a Cheap Eats video? Because these things are big. You can split them 2 ways, $8 each. I think it gets a nod for Cheap Eats, no?
I think so. So listen, this is New York City. Realistically, nothing's really that cheap.
You said you just went to the doctor and your cholesterol's a little bit high?
I have high cholesterol, but it is not stopping me from eating.
So this video's against your doctor's orders. I'm
It's
sorry.
against the doctor's
Sorry to
law.
your doctor.
I hope she's not watching this right now.
All right, man. Cheers. Let's try this.
And there it is.
First thing I noticed was the chili. The chili oil. That's what makes this sandwich a little bit different for me.
Exactly, and I feel like all the old school Italian sandwich spots, like they don't have that chili spread. That's why Regina's, it sticks out to me so much. That chili spread adds a crazy dynamic to the sandwich, along with its fresh mozzarella cheese, which is amazing.
We talked about this in another video we did with Mary Jane, the Italian girl, and you were explaining it to people that have never heard of a Manhattan Special.
Yeah, so all it is espresso with soda. It's espresso soda, basically. So if you really want to be up in the morning or at nighttime, any time of the day, you drink one of these, you'll be climbing up the wall. We're here at Champion Pizza, and it's the most underrated pizza chain in New York City. Yo, as New Yorkers, we love our cheese. Look at the cheese. Cheese everywhere. Wait, I'm gonna get somewhere over here, put a little bit on
No,
there.
you're not. No. We ate so much today, sometimes you just have enough stomach left for a plain slice. All right, let's try it.
Let's try it. That's good, man. Got a beautiful undercarriage right there. Look at that. That's what you want the crust to be like. Not too burnt, beautiful.
What I like about Champion Pizza, it's got a little sweet flavor to it with a tomato sauce that's different than every other place.
And I also love how thin it is. Like you could have 3 slices and still be, pretty good. You can still be not have the itis.
Absolute great deal for $1.50. This is the cheapest item on the video.
I would have never thought in a million years I would ever do this, but let's get it.
Any idea what you're doing?
Listen, I love cheese, so I'm making mine with a little extra cheese.
I don't think anyone has ever put this much cheese on a pie in history.
Yeah, I hope that they don't get mad at me. I put a lot of cheese on here, like a ton of cheese. Bada bing, here we go. Yo, my first pie I've ever made. Look at the cheese. We put about 4 pounds of cheese on it. It's crispy, it's beating. Look at that crispiness to it. What do you think? You think I did a good job? Amazing. Try my slice, tell me what you think.
Big flop, a lot of cheese, Marco Lombardi style. Look at this thing. That's not bad.
Pretty good, bro.
Definitely extra cheese.
Yo, we love our cheese, that's what I'm saying. Yo, out of 10, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 7.2.
7.2, I like that. Borsal, you ain't got nothing on it.
All of these New York dishes are $10 or less. We're going on a street food adventure to prove that you can eat cheap in the Big Apple. You just have to know where to look. Joey Rose's may look like your average dive bar from the outside, but they've got a sandwich special you need to know about. Awesome. Yeah, I want to get one of the Rosies, one of the Dads, your $3 lager, and a Coke. All right, so we're gonna cheat a little bit. $3 beers, doesn't count towards the cheap eats. Cheap drinks. So this place is called Joey Rose's after a famous comedian, Joe DeRosa, who owns this bar. And you could see his touch is on a lot of the things around here, very retro vibes. So it's cool, you wait for your sandwich to get made, play a little Mortal Kombat. When I was a kid, I used to play Mortal Kombat 2 at Pizza Hut all the time. I was really good. I forgot a few things. 30 years. I lost.
First off, we bake this bread every morning. We import the flour from Italy. It's a secret recipe, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. We're gonna do the Rosie. Mayo, little American cheese, some nice imported mortadella, Italian bologna with pistachios in it. And what makes our sandwiches great is the eatability, as I like to call it. So everything is paper thin. It doesn't fall out the bottom like most sandwich spots do. And then you rush to eat it because you don't want to have it fall out the back. And next thing you know, you didn't enjoy your sandwich, you just rushed it. Now you're full. Slices of tomato, some hot cherry peppers, a little Joey seasoning, which is just oregano, pepper, and sea salt, Sicilian sea salts. There you go. Some really good extra virgin olive oil. From balloon here. Look at that. Cured meats. We got mortadella, Genoa salami. Everything's paper thin. And again, that plays a huge part in how it eats and what separates us from everybody else. It's the same thing as if you have a recipe and you have a beautifully diced onion or you have a big ass piece of onion. The beautifully diced onion is gonna change the way that whole dish eats. This is some beautiful ham from Italy, some beautifully sliced onions, tomatoes, shredded Asiago, and these beautiful hot peppers that we make from scratch. Touch of Joey's seasoning. You can see the layers in this one. This is beautiful. That's a sandwich.
I can wholeheartedly tell you I've never eaten in a New York City establishment what looks like those old microwave TV dinner trays. This is already a win for me, but look how much meat you get for that too. That also has impressed me so much. And the amount of prep they put into it, 2 days to bake this bread. Like you could cut so many corners if you want to in a bar, and I don't think anybody would complain, but here they're not cutting any corners. We're gonna try 2 different sandwiches. The Rosie, you saw it get made. Let's rock on this. This is the kind of sandwich I'd order at a nice Italian deli, not at a bar. Wow, bread. So soft, airy, and the mortadella and the cheese, everything else is blending together. Thinly sliced meat, really key. I know they kept talking about it. I read really good reviews, but sometimes you have to come somewhere yourself to actually try it. From like the hot cherry peppers, the mayo, the oregano, it's just a smooth bite. And now we're moving on to the dad, because you know dad wants more than one meat in his sandwich. We got the mortadella, Genoa salami, ham, provolone, Dahlia onions, Asiago tomato, hot cherry peppers, olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano. So really a prototypical New York Italian deli sandwich. Also included in that $10 club. Ooh, you need like a big bite here. Just a meat explosion there, wow. I think I went through all of them in one bite. It was difficult to do, but because the bread is so soft, easily accomplished, this really reminds me of eating an amazing Italian sub in New York, right here. I think you could come to this bar for that experience and not even have to go to a deli if you don't want to. I don't know whose dad they named it after, but someone's dad's got good taste. I'm really getting a lot of the provolone cheese at the bottom of this meat stack is hitting me in like the best possible way. Fresh ingredients, made with love here. Can enjoy it at the bar. Can bring in, play some Mortal Kombat. Can go watch Key and Peele, sketch comedy show on TV. And I'm sure the vibe is very different at night as well. In New York, it's hot dogs with beer, but it really should be sandwiches. I think more bars need to do stuff like this. You think you're gonna keep these for $10 forever?
Not the economy keeps going to
All right, so if you did not know any better, I don't think you would just walk in here off the street. You gotta be in the know. East Broadway Mall. I mean, this honestly feels like we're filming one of those abandoned mall videos, and apparently before COVID, this mall was thriving, and unfortunately, a lot of the businesses have now shut down, all right? And you gotta head down the stairs to find the good stuff. Hi, it's one order of the steam buns, please. For you. We are sitting in the basement of what's practically an abandoned mall. If this right here is not the definition of a hidden gem in New York, I don't know what is. And the price too. Look how big the steam buns are. Dripping out some oil here. Heard the legend of this spot, never actually tried it. Soft, pillowy exterior. And look at all that pork just hiding, waiting for us to devour it inside. The pork has a nice savory flavor to it. Very oily, very tasty. It's coming out right here. Where's this place been hiding my whole life? I know it's been down here for a long time, and I'm also happy that this has been on social media a lot, because with a location like this, I imagine in the past it was just word of mouth to get customers here. But for a deal this good, $5 for 16 buns, soft, chewy, pillowy. This is the kind of food that makes me want to take a nap after, man. Putting me to sleep in the best possible way, of course. I think you would totally feel like an insider if you took your friends or family here. I mean, this place really is a vibe. You have a lady working here making dumplings behind me. You can hear the subway from the tracks right above the mall. Just a few people walking through. The definition of a hole in the wall, but the quality is way better than you would expect. This place is a surprise, big time. You know, after that experience down there, I wonder what other treasures this nearly abandoned mall hides. This might be one of the best cheap eats deals I have ever heard of in New York. And we've actually filmed next door at Olfactory Art Keller, the only museum in the world where you smell the exhibits. So head there first and then eat some amazing dumplings next door. It'll be my first time here. Hello, the $5 dumplings, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Hi.
All right, for $5, feast your eyes on this. What's crazy was there was a huge line when we first got here. There is one magical table. Consider yourself lucky if you can sit here, okay? Because they were mobbed. I even heard an Amazon driver, he said, $5 for dumplings, all right. He's jumped in the line. So they move super, super quick. So what looks like a long line is not gonna last that long. I mean, this is the first time in a while I've actually been eating before we even put this on camera. I was just so hungry looking at it. 15 pork and chive dumplings. This is an easy split for 2, even 3 people. Little char on the bottom. I'm liking what I see. We've done videos on dumpling crawls in Chinatown before. Somehow, never went here. Let's give it a whirl. Very interesting texture because I'd say like half of it on this side is fried, and then on the other side, much softer. It creates a really interesting balance. When you see old grandmas in the back working hard, and that's what it's all about in New York. Local businesses like that, definitely catering prices to the community because they easily could raise prices. And this quality for the money, this I think is one of the best deals in New York City right now. And I know they've been getting a lot of attention on social media. I saw a big crowd before, so I'm not the first person to report on them, but they are doing the community such a good service with the quality of this food. It really tastes homemade to me. I'll be honest, some of the dumplings don't have as much filling as the others, but I think they churn them out so fast. You get some that have a lot like this one. I actually think the lady may have set a record for fastest service I've ever seen in New York. We didn't time it, but felt like 20 seconds and the dumplings were just ready. I think they had 15 ready to go. That, and they also sell, I believe their pork buns are very cheap, and that was selling equally as fast as the fried dumplings, but you really can't go wrong at a little spot like that. Not when you've got the hardworking grandmas slinging them out back there. Would I call this the best pan-fried dumpling I've ever had in New York? No, I wouldn't go there. Would I call this, though, the best deal in New York City? Now we're getting into a debate that we could possibly have. But either way, you will not be upset coming over here, spending $5. Jin-made dumplings, something so addicting about these. Can't help myself. Ah, so bad. Do that again. Punjabi Deli, a New York institution. This is not the first time we have put them on the channel. It's a legendary cheap eat spot. Open since the early 90s. It originally appealed to cab drivers. Now everybody comes here. It has become a legendary spot in the East Village. You can smell that goodness from out here. This place never fails. Just the smell right away. Never changes. We'll just do a small bowl of rice with spinach and the chickpeas, number 1, number 2, and a samosa. $10? Okay. One of the best $10 meals in New York. One of my life goals is to make it on the wall of the Punjabi Deli, okay? That's how you know if you've made it. True story, they were actually in danger of closing back in 2020 during the pandemic, and in a single weekend, their customers raised $38,000 to keep them open. So just because a deli like this serves cheaper options does not mean that their customers are not as loyal as a super expensive place. Because I know a lot of folks that swear by Punjabi Deli for quick serve food. And before the pandemic, it was actually a 24-hour spot. You could come here after partying in the Lower East Side or East Village. Now they close at 10. Things have changed a lot in the city though, since 2020.
Open 34 years, 1990.
1990?
Yeah, 75% my neighborhood people come, local the 75.
75% locals. So it's everybody. Every color, every religion, everybody. Vegetarian Indian feast. Woo. Whoa. These stools have been here forever. I think it's the same stool as the last time I came, like 5 years ago. True story, when I was here the last time with my wife Adriana, who's from Mexico, I think they thought that she was Indian, and they made her dish so much spicier than mine. It was hilarious. We're gonna start things off with the samosa, which has some potatoes and some veggies inside. Let's rock. Soft and chewy, very hearty too. It's probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind in Manhattan for a grab-and-go snack, but it's actually not a bad option. This bed of rice here with the spinach, mustard on top, and the chickpeas on the side. All right, let's give this a whirl. Well, definitely got a little spicy kick to it. It's like your long-lost Indian uncle just made you an after-school snack. It's 4 o'clock. So many flavors going on as we dip into the chickpeas here. And as far as cheap pizza is concerned, I just realized this is probably one of your healthier options in New York. This is a no-frills spot. Come as you are. You'll be surrounded by all different types of people, as he was saying, all different races. A lot of people live in the area. Cab drivers, Uber drivers like to pop in. Very hearty meal here for $7, okay? I've been lucky that every time I've come here to film, I've been able to get these 2 chairs every time. The manager was telling me that it used to be 50 cents for a samosa when they opened in 1990 and 50 cents for a tea. Now it's $3 and $2.50. So if we think about inflation, we look at the value for how much food we have gotten for $7, $3 on this, $10 total. I think it is still a good deal. Prices though are going up, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make this video very easily, even in a year or two, to try to keep the budget at $10 or less, but we'll keep trying.